All right, we're live. Drew, Nate, the boys are back in town, as they say.
That's what they have been saying.
Some of the some of the boys have said that they are back in town. 12, 13 viewers. Wow, they're jumping on quick. We're talking regionals. You're chatting regionals with the boys. And Nate, I'm still watching Squeeze play. And
So
right
am
now
I.
we're seeing Kentucky 12-7 on West Virginia in that final. I'm curious, what are you looking at here? Are you still tightly tuned into Little Rock and LSU?
I have been watching this score all day because I was wondering if LSU was going to pick it up, and they obviously did pretty fast. I'm mostly watching UTSA Texas right now. I think that's just so intriguing in the North Carolina Oklahoma.
I don't know.
A 3-run game, top 8 for North Carolina. I'm not so
Yeah,
sure.
dude,
It's a great like set on the box though right now. 4 really good
without a
games.
doubt. Shout out 831 BP. Let's go. Yeah, bro. We're glad you're here with us. Let's go. It's a good night to be watching college baseball. And as we said on the Twitter machine just a little bit ago, Nate and I were kind of texting. We were like, what are you up to? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. You want to just chat ball online? Let's chat ball online. Let's get the folks involved, get people in the mix. So that's what we're doing here. We're glad you're with us. 73, 4 people watching. So yeah, drop us a comment down below if you've got any questions about the weekend of regionals, what this means for your teams going forward, what we're looking at for super regionals. Nate and I are here to chat. We're going to have some more Prospects Live staff joining us, I'm sure, at some point. Kind of as a come and go. Let's see.
Miami's kind of crawling back into it. Southern Miss too.
Yeah, they are.
I just think that this is the best night of baseball.
I think it is. Reese White says, looking great, fellas. Where you at, Squidward? Why aren't you here with us?
He's looking out the window at us.
Nate, you got your bean dip on you, Reese says. Where's the bean dip, Nate?
The face of baseball media right there. Should I just say something to make him mad really fast? I think we are a Murray State 9-run comeback away from this being my favorite day of baseball so far this year. And I don't know what number 1 would be, but that was, I guess, a blanket statement.
I still think that my favorite night of the baseball season is Tennessee coming back on Texas in the SEC tournament. That was the most excited I've been all year long, probably, as pitiful as that sounds, but I was so hyped. So
yeah.
Let's see. Top 8, Oklahoma up 8-5 on North Carolina in Chapel Hill. 1 on, 2-0 count. Oh, Ryder Helfrich just hit another home run. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Brandon, exactly. Just hit it at the same time as me. Where's Brandon at? Why ain't Brandon here? Yeah, just like you said, man, it's the best night of college baseball.
What do you got on UCLA? Oh, we got a question. Sorry,
Mitchell Stachnik. Any Miles Bailey takes? Nate, Miles Bailey?
No, I do not have any takes.
Let's see. Miles Bailey. I need to get my head
around
the
big Florida State guy.
I wasn't expecting a Miles Bailey question. Yeah, Florida State first baseman. I wasn't expecting a Miles Bailey question here. I mean, power for sure. That's kind of hype. I did, if I'm not mistaken, I saw where he was transferring. So if that's the case, obviously I know where I'd like to see a big strong boy go. But you know.
Oh, is he in the portal? Is that what?
I think he's in the portal. Mitch, was that what you meant? That he's in the portal? I think I saw that Miles Bailey was in the portal. I'm going to try to cross-reference and make sure. I've got, dude, my
Twitter. He was playing tonight. Oh, he's the guy who hit the the single in the 8th. Okay, I know who we're talking about now.
Oh, nice. Okay. Reese said he struck out 69 times last time he checked. Not nice. Yeah, that could be better. Putting it bluntly. Okay, I could have swore that I saw something about Miles Bailey transferring, but I guess that's just in my dreams. Wanting to be a slugger play for Tennessee. Not that we don't have enough of those already. If only we could get people. I need to hush. I need to hush. I've warned everybody. If you're watching at home, I've warned them. I'm in a bad mood. If you don't know, Drew supports the University of Tennessee, and walking the bases loaded, didn't walk the bases loaded, but walking in loaded bases to walk in a run, fun stuff. Brandon says, looks like Creighton's going to be headed back to Nebraska real quick. Unfortunately, I believe you're going to be correct there, buddy. Man, Nolan Saylor, that day one near cycle made a believer out of me. Looking into Creighton and doing a little bit of studying on them, they have some interesting players, but it's tough to say the very least because Arkansas is legit.
What do you think about Jamie Arnold being named the most outstanding player of their regional?
He had a great start. Jamie Arnold had a great start, but at the same time, he struck out more than. I don't mean to sound like a homer, but I realize that I will.
True, I'm not
going to say that. I'm not going to finish that sentiment. I think Arnold did a great job. I think that he was certainly a noteworthy player. But the more that I watch of Jamie Arnold, I'm not sure he's kind of anywhere near indisputed best college arm. I don't think he's 1-1 lock. I'm straying further from that the more I see. And that's not a bad thing because he's still going to be a quality major leaguer. I think he's still going to be certainly a top 5-6 pick. I mean, unless some insanity happens. But I don't think he's as much of a lock as we thought he was, last week even.
I see more like SP3 in him than I would like to, I think.
Sure.
I don't think he's like that ace kind of guy. Like I would prefer almost Hernandez to him. I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. But
Reese is about to comment and tell you how wrong you are. Reese is the biggest. Okay, there he goes. Guess we need to find a new co-host. What do you mean? Guess we need to find a new co-host, Nate? It's the opposite.
No, Reese, we're not on the same side here. You can't make beat dip comments.
First of all, Squidward, where are you even at? Come on the stream and talk to me like that. If you're in the chat, write something about Reese White. Write something about Reese. Threaten him. Tell him to come on the stream and defend his opinion if he's going to feel that strongly.
Kentucky, West Virginia has got interesting since
12-10 now.
That's a fun matchup.
That is a fun matchup. Brandon, I guess, falling in your camp, Nate. Frito Bean Dip is undefeated. Yeah. Targeted. I feel targeted.
Didn't I pull higher than Reese on that?
I believe you did, actually. I've been waiting for that to come up in the group chat, and it has not. So
I was actually waiting to bring it up tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, you get a preview of tomorrow's On Deck here on our live stream. Guys, again, if you're watching, drop us a comment if you've got any questions, if you've got any things you want to get our takes on, because we're talking regionals here tonight, and there's plenty of stuff going on. 232 of you guys watching, too. That's dope. Thank you so much for tuning in.
200?
Yeah, that's what the thing says up here, 234 watching. Reese doesn't believe in polls. Brandon also says, Reese, grab like 5 Quest cookies and hop on the stream. Yeah, Reese, hop on the stream. It's a good idea, Reese. Come hop on the stream, Squidward. See what you got going on. I don't know. I'm trying to make an analysis about Jamie Arnold being the MVP of that region, and I don't know. I don't know. I'm still up in the air. Is that fair to say?
Is Smata just a big Cal Poly guy, or does he have a personal connection there?
What do you mean?
I just keep seeing Smata talk about Cal Poly.
Reese is cooking dinner. Okay. Maybe we'll be around after you finish. That was a horrible Squidward. I was trying to do Squidward there. Mitch, who improved their draft stock the most this weekend? That question I like. I think that's a good question. Not that the other one wasn't good about Miles Bailey. Draft stock. Who improved their draft stock the most? Give me a second to think about it because I feel like there's several good answers here. Marcus Phillips from Tennessee obviously comes to mind just because I watched that start pretty intently. And I was pretty down on Phillips. I really needed to see him come out with his pitches looking good and manage the run game against a team who is incredibly patient and steals bases at an alarming rate in Cincinnati. And he did both of those things. Did give up earned runs because you're going to do that. And Cincinnati has, again, they're quality bats. But I'll go with Marcus Phillips. At least in my mind, he's improved his stock. Not that this other guy's stock is down, but as I've mentioned on the College Daily Sheet the last couple of days, Vahiva Aloy, I swear, there was a play. I don't know that there was a player I was more meh on that now I'm kind of just salivating to watch him play than Vahiva Aloy. Dude brings a Hawaiian punch in his bat to every at bat. That is a joke because he's from Hawaii. You can only get this at Prospects Live. $5 a month. Get your membership. Nate, what about you?
I actually don't know if this player is draft eligible because I didn't know about him until this weekend. But Graham Kellum from Murray State closed out both of their first two games, and they were both, I think, 2-run games or so, and absolutely looked dominant. And I looked at the numbers. He's like a 4 ERA guy. But Graham Kellum, Murray State, and a Murray State reliever is probably not
I don't know.
the highest quality arm ever, but like I think he went from a nobody to a guy, and it looks like he is draft eligible as well. I struck out 12 batters per 9 this year with good command, and he doesn't give up home runs. So maybe a draftable reliever at the end of the draft or a signable one.
Yeah, totally. Let's take a look. See if we can find anything about what was his name? Kellum.
Graham Kellum.
Let's see if he's draft eligible.
He says he's a junior online. West Virginia tied the game.
Oh, they did.
And was it bottom 8? Bases loaded, no outs. Oh, stuff's happening, Drew.
Okay, red alert. We'll have to come back to Graham Kellum. Red alert. Oh, this is good stuff here. Is it awful that my eyes keep going to UTSA Texas though? Even still, with all the heat going on right now,
there's just something about it, man. Because I keep expecting Texas to like score a couple runs, and it hasn't happened.
I know. Oh, yeah, a lot of ducks on the pond here for North Carolina, and that's an offense that is doesn't need any help.
I mean, Penn's double barreling. That's a red flag if I've ever seen one.
Okay. UTSA shut down the threat to end the inning.
Wow. Oh gosh, I'm ahead of you, Drew. This could be bad.
You're ahead?
Oh yeah.
Oh, not good. Okay, that's not good.
Maybe I'll delay my takes.
No, you're cool. I'm going to try to refresh the app on my television. That way, maybe I can get caught up with you. Oh my gosh, I don't want the CW app. Why do we have the CW app? Who's watching the CW in this house? Let's see. Big Willie style coming in with the question. Kate Anderson or Jamie Arnold? Will, you already know what the answer is, man. Why don't you ask that? You know the answer to that question. Nate, you want to tell him or should I?
It's Jamie Arnold.
It's Kate Anderson. I think they're probably closer to even than I would take one or the other. That's actually a super fun discussion, though, because I'm curious how many teams would see Anderson as being better than Arnold right now.
You know who else I've really liked so far this weekend is Roman Martin.
Reese wants to come on the chat. Do what?
15 minutes. Roman Martin's only a sophomore, though, but I like what he's doing a lot. I think he puts up really good ABs.
Oh, here we go. Mitch with another killer question. Justin LeBron or Rock Chalowski? Ooh, I think I may have to break my SEC bias. I think I want the rock star on that one.
I think so too. Didn't LeBron kind of end his season kind of slow?
I wouldn't say slow necessarily, but it certainly wasn't up to the same par he had been at mid-season. So, that's unfortunate as it goes. But
I also think with a name like Rock Chalowski, it's I think that has to break a tie.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, a name like LeBron is a difficult name to beat.
Yeah, actually, you're super right.
All right, let's see. Got another question in. Let's see. Guy Drew Wheeler on Twitter asks, Nate, how angry was Drew on a scale of 1 to 10?
How did you do that?
What are you talking about? This isn't me. Somebody else asked that.
I think I expected you to be worse, if I'm being honest, because I've never experienced you post loss before.
I typically, I don't know. The only team I get really aggro about is Tennessee baseball.
That's what I figured. And if this is you aggro,
well, we're not totally done yet, so that gives me a little bit of leeway.
Jack called up.
What?
Oh, breaking news,
dude! Look at us being live with 269 viewers. Now I can talk Jack Cags. Hello,
dude. I hate to break it to you. I think we have 3 viewers, not 200.
You're being for real.
I'm looking on YouTube right now. It says 3.
Twitter says 260 something.
Are we on Twitter too?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that we live streamed on Twitter.
Yeah, I've got the hookup.
I don't know how any of this works.
Got the hookup, man. Yeah, Big Willie Style and Reese both said Cags up. Perhaps more importantly, though, Brandon says, how fast did you down that Jello? It was within the first 2 minutes of our stream starting, or rather the stream that shall not be named. I don't want to incite any rage out of Nate, but the stream that shall not be named. I think I had the Jello killed within like 3 minutes. I may have another Jello before the night is still young, Brandon, so it could happen.
Jack Cags is up. I feel like we should almost wait for Reese
to like really dive into that.
Feels like it.
Yeah, let's wait.
Well, we just got our podcast topic for tomorrow now.
True. I mean, dude, we talked kind of ad nauseum about Caglione last week.
Yeah,
and made a lot of great points to the point that what was the point in waiting? He had nothing else to gain. So I'm glad it happened. But yeah, we'll wait and we'll chat Reese.
Shout out to the Royals for not caring too much about paying him money earlier and instead just going to try and win baseball games.
True.
That's huge.
That is cool. You love to see it. Shout out your friend and mine, Jared Perkins, biggest Royals fan I know. He's got to be thrilled.
Now they just have to trade Vinny. I don't.
Now you're just asking for it. Yeah, literally, I opened Twitter, first tweet, Jared. Oh my God, okay, it's happening. There you go. I just got to shout this out. I got to shout this out real quick, guys at home. Report that I'm reading on the Twitter machine. Tennessee's Andrew Fisher says, this is a loud, special stadium. I hope everybody comes back tomorrow and let's get back and bring double the noise as tonight. Hard facts. Big Fish has said it, and let's see it come to life. Of course, it's easy for me to sit here and say on the other side of the state, because if I could be in Knoxville, I'd be at that stadium, dog. 6-hour drive on a work night is not kosher, though. Oh, you got out of the jam. They sure did. The Jack Cags news has distracted me from the television. Little Rock is within 1 in Baton Rouge right now. Facts. That Star Wars baseball GIF is awesome. I need to have that in my life.
As a Dodgers fan, I can't help but feel like Kim is kind of being wasted in the majors right now. You know, I think the Dodgers have been playing him right as far as they waited to call him up. Because everyone thought he was gonna debut. And throughout spring training, we saw him struggle a lot. I mean, the strikeout rate was way higher than you would expect for a guy of this profile. And then once he got used to things in the minors, he came up, and I think he's just more of a utility guy than an everyday starter. He could start on a bad team, but I think he's a kind of a value, good utility guy at this point for a really good team. And I think he's probably worth keeping around based on the positional versatility, the base running. Yeah, like he might not start in the playoffs, but I think he's still valuable.
I think so too.
Realistically, like, what are you going to trade him for either?
Yeah. Big Willie style. Will the Red Sox call up one of the best hitters in their org, or are they content with still losing baseball games?
Talking about Nate Eaton.
I suspect he means Roman Anthony.
Oh, it's an honest mistake.
Yeah, honest mistake. Honest mistake. Well, I don't know. I think they should. Will they? That's a whole different question. We are learning with every passing day that if you'll just look for a thing called Chandler Simpson discourse from a couple days ago, the entire world feels nice and smug to say, major league teams aren't running their teams for your fantasy team. And everybody loves making this very sarcastic point like they're the first one to make it. Duh. LOL. Duh. Good one. But at the same time, I don't know. Who knows? I think that the team is doing clearly what they think is best, but I'm not sure how they don't. I'm not sure how they look at Roman Anthony and don't think that guy makes our team better right now. So, kind of along the same lines, Mitch, service time manipulation at this point, right? On the nose, my man. On the nose.
This is the rarest time to get called up as a prospect typically because you're in the in-between with the service time. Yet we've seen Cole Young and Cags get called up. So other teams are showing that they don't care about the service time debate. The Red Sox are standing pat, which I think is interesting because I feel like Kansas City, Boston, Seattle are all in kind of similar spots organizationally. I think they're somewhat in the same kind of window, and two of them are going for it.
That's fair. I can't disagree with that. Sorry, I'm emailing Reese the stream link so that he will be apt to join us.
West Virginia took the lead.
Love to see it. That's been a very competitive game. Honestly, kind of very reminiscent of Tennessee and Wake as back and forth, as offensively driven, as many lead switches as there's been.
Texas just isn't going to score.
I guess not. Are you going to come on the stream, Barney? Do you want to say hello to everybody? Are we going to get a Barney debut on Prospects Live right now? LSU, bases loaded. Yeah, Brandon just said the same thing. There's a miserable looking Texas fan in the stands in Austin, guys. If you hadn't seen him, camera may cut back to him in a second. Boy, he is looking sour.
I'm just now seeing this live stream thing on X. What a nifty little contraption, Drew.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. StreamYard, where we're streaming from, it offers like all kinds of different streaming functionality. I believe we can stream to multiple platforms at once, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Insta, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all the stuff. I think this allows us to multi-stream. So it's a pretty neat function. We'll have to utilize this other times, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this is great. LSU loads the bases with 2 outs. I am watching that right now. I kind of want to see the little guys from Little Rock play another day.
Yeah, where's Greg at to be hyped over his the hometown team from Little Rock?
Is that his squad or just where he's
Oh
from?
no, I'd say if Greg had a team, I'd say it's probably Arkansas. But I don't know.
I'm in a weird spot where I don't have a college baseball team. I don't.
You don't have a college baseball team? Is that what you just said?
No, I mean,
Bushnell, hello.
well, yeah, but like I'm saying, like D1 team, right? Like, I don't have any rooting interests for anyone. You're gonna convert me?
I'd love to.
Should we do a Bushnell Tennessee jersey swap?
That would actually be so sick. Imagine.
This has your name written all over it right there.
No way. I can't take that off your wall. No way. Dude, then what's going to happen to your background? Let's be real.
I know. I feel
Brandon.
bad one up there.
Brandon shouts out, thinking about heading to Stockton on Tuesday when they play Fresno. Maybe I should get video for you guys. Brandon, that's a great question. Let's wait till Reese jumps on. He'd be the one to ask, honestly. Reese would be the dude to ask, so we'll let him holler back at you. We'll get Reese's thoughts on Cags. See if Reese has got any thoughts on Jamie Arnold. Hey, here you go. Big time opportunity for Max Ballou to do something in the regional. One of my favorite bats in the SEC that doesn't play for Tennessee. And he plays for Coach Schlossnagel, which means that I double dislike him. Yet, a player I like. So let's see what Max Ballou can do here with a 2-0 count. UTSA up 7-1. Called that 2-1. Check swing, not quite.
I think he's probably going to throw like a sinker down and out for a swinging strike to make it 2-2 here, Drew.
Please stop. You're killing me. This isn't fair. So now I'm gonna have to be like, stop, Nate.
No,
Stop.
no, wait. Hold on, wait. I just zoomed in.
I was about to say, how did you zoom in with?
I have a camera that does like a video. Hold on, zoom. I don't know how to zoom out.
Like make like a relaxed face or something.
No, it's not facial. But did you see that on the Texas game?
No, I was looking at your face zooming in. Dadgummit. Hold on, here we go. Dadgummit.
That was a crazy swing. Hold on. I have to
that's the kind of swing that if the bat goes like flying out of his hand, I'm not going to be surprised.
Did you not see the bat go out of his hand?
Did it? Okay, I was about to say he's one. I only got to see the replay of it, so
that's what I saw.
Man, crazy stuff.
Creighton home run? Sorry, spoiling.
No, that's cool. It just came on as well. Who was it that hit the home run?
North.
Okay. I was hoping it was my boy Nolan Say.
Love the zoom in on the stash.
Milton out says, love the zoom in on the stash.
Fact. I just got this camera and it does like AI tracking. So it was a very cheap, nice camera. But occasionally I'll like throw up a hand and it'll like start doing weird things. So what do you think about our
Nate?
Oh, hello. You there, Drew?
Yeah, I'm here. My computer's being stupid. I was getting like a weird notification about connection at the same time and just dumb stuff.
Happens. I got a question for you.
For me?
Oh, well, I suppose you weren't
you have
on that
question
interview.
For me?
I'm sorry. I wanted to ask you about our boy Ryan Lynch not even having to be used for Coastal Carolina this week.
Well, that's great. I think that obviously, you keep arms fresh at this point for any team is critical. So.
This Kentucky pitcher, I can see the sweat, man.
Yeah, this is not a good look for him.
No way.
This is not fun watching on like super delay from you.
Yeah, let me
No, you're cool, bro. You're cool.
go back like 2 seconds.
No, you're good, man. You're good. I'll be fine. Honestly, you kind of forewarning me about what to watch for might actually be better.
I just went back 10 seconds, so we might be synced up like this.
Oh, okay, got him.
Did you see that call though? The pitch before.
Yeah, the pitch before. I wasn't so sure about that call, but
Who are we to judge or umpire?
yeah, I guess not. I mean, I like to think. Uh-oh. Deep to the wall for Oklahoma, but North Carolina comes away with the catch as well. Creighton's looking like they're going to try to make it a little bit interesting, but still a lead in Fayetteville.
So what's the storyline here with the UTSA knocking out Texas if things stay the way that they are right now?
What's the storyline?
Yeah, I don't know. What are your takeaways from that?
I think that it's kind of like what we were talking about a minute ago. You look at a guy who's been an anchor for this offense all year, Max Blue, kind of disappearing whenever it comes time to host. When it's time for regional, where is Max Blue? We've seen guys all year, and I'm forgetting their names, but Kimball, their first baseman, has been an anchor. I know he's performed. Others, Caden, there's been players for Texas that have been contributors, and clearly they got to this point. But when UTSA is handling you, and that's exactly what's going down here, right? I mean, 7-1 in Austin. Not that San Antonio is, I mean, they're in state, so I mean they've got a contingency of fans there. There has to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Also, Drew, I do believe your camera is frozen if there's a refresh kind of situation for you.
Yeah, I was about to text you and ask if there was something weird going on with that.
Yeah, I just looked at it. I just thought Texas was really good, man. And I'm more shocked.
Yeah, I guess that's the nicest thing to say is shocked. Greg did text me, by the way, and said, "Go Little Rock." So Greg is cheering for Little Rock. I'm sure. I mean, it makes sense. College from the town. He's right there outside of Little Rock. Not to dox Greg or anything. I think this is relatively public knowledge among Prospects Live fans that Greg is in Arkansas. Not to dox Greg. Sorry, Greg. But yeah, they're a runaway right now, Greg, and. Let's see, Louisville up 3-0, and where are we at? Midway through 5 on Wright State. Man, Wright State putting out Vanderbilt. What legends, what absolute icons are the Raiders of Wright State.
You see their pitcher yesterday when 8 innings after having a 98 the whole year.
Yeah, pretty impressive. That is that's team on your back type stuff right there, man. Of course, Wright State also Boston Smith, probably the hottest hitter on planet Earth right now. I will happily pass the crown from Andrew Fisher to him. 17 home runs in the month of May and today, I guess. Somebody earlier called it May 32nd because his hot streak has continued. So yeah, Boston Smith going absolutely ham and cheese right now. Let's see. Mitch proposes. Is Jonah Williams at Texas just a football player? Do you guys like him on the diamond? I watched Jonah Williams play, and I thought that he didn't look overmatched, but I certainly think that he's probably destined for a career in football, if either. Now, I've been wrong on that before, but I think that on the scale of Kyler Murray to Bo Jackson, closer to Kyler Murray.
Being a two-sport college, two-sport athlete in college.
Hey, Nate, guess what? A
Did we
wild
get him?
Reese White appeared. Hi, Reese. Can you not hear us? Reese comes in wearing a nice hat and says he can't hear us. Is that better? Can you guys hear us? Well, that was Reese White. Great. Great to have him with us. Hope he has a good night. All of you that were looking forward to Reese, there he was.
I think we're getting an echo on your end, Drew. Someone just brought that up.
Let's see. Echo on my end. Let me see if I can adjust my mic settings. Let's see. I've got echo cancellation on. Let me turn on reduce background noise. See if that helps. And then
I can still hear it.
You still hear an echo on my end?
Well, I've unplugged all my stuff.
Let me see. Reese, is that better?
Yeah.
Well, it's good to hear you, Reese. Good to see you as well.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We're happy to have you.
So what are you guys just discussing?
Well, we were talking about a lot of things. I believe the chat wants to hear you. Nate is probably going to jump right back in. I'm assuming, guys. I think he might have been having some issues. Milltown, thanks for the heads up, by the way, on the issues with the audio. Are mine and Reese sounding okay? Are you getting any echo or reverb on Reese and I? If you are, just let us know. Reese, let's get your thoughts, man. Jack Caglione. The Royals, listen, they did the thing. Jack Caglione is going to come up to join the club.
Yeah, and guess whose tweets about him just got retweeted and all that. So I've been dealing with that today.
Guess whose tweets?
Yeah,
I'm assuming it's this guy over here.
Yeah. But no, it's honestly awesome.
Yeah.
I'm hearing myself. I don't know if you guys are hearing yourself when you talk.
I'm now hearing myself too.
I'm not. I'm not wearing headphones. I'm afeared that's what's going on here. Milltown says it could be something with my routing. Milltown, honestly, that is likely the case. Tell you what I might do, guys. If you guys can hold this down, I may go join from the iMac. Curious if this would let me do that. Do you think that you guys could hold it down in the interim?
Yes, sir.
I can try.
I have faith in you both. We'll see what can happen here. Give me just a minute.
Okay, so Cags got called up, and I honestly now I'm not hearing myself, so that might have been the issue.
It was
we're talking about elite power and not so elite swing and miss. I really do worry about if he's going to make enough contact, but I guess we're never going to find out until he gets called up to the major leagues like he did today. So I think he's going to provide a nice middle of the order bat for this lineup that kind of needs extending out. I don't know what you think about Cags.
I think he will need some time, but I think, like we kind of talked about last week on deck, is this is a perfect time to kind of test him out in the middle of the summer to see if he can be, an impact bat down the stretch. I don't think he's going to be an immediate impact kind of guy, because we are talking about a significant jump in pitching from AA, AAA to MLB in the span of a month, right? So I think he'll have his struggles, but I think he definitely plays as a long-term, plus bat. I'm curious if he ends up at first base or the outfield kind of long-term, just with how the Royals are constructed right now. I'm not sure if you have any thoughts on that, but the arm is pretty fun in the outfield. I'm not going to lie.
It is pretty fun in the outfield, and I do really wonder if they do move Pasquantino to DH, but that also muddies Salvador Perez. So I think they put him in right field, maybe left field, kind of just allow him to maybe be a power and arm sort of guy at that spot. What college games were we talking about before I jumped on?
I mean, West Virginia, Kentucky has my eye right now. Texas is trying to come back against UTSA. We've been thinking about the storyline there. Texas getting eliminated by an in-state school. But West Virginia, Kentucky has been the most fun game last couple innings. I don't know if you have any thoughts on those guys.
I'm really hoping West Virginia pulls it off because that'll make me look a lot smarter. I would love it for Texas to get knocked off. I mean, we already had Oregon get knocked off. Who else? Vandy got knocked off, right? Georgia got knocked off. So we're talking about some pretty serious regional hosts. I mean, the number one seed in all of college baseball got knocked off. So I mean, who knows? Not a good day for Drew's SEC, but it's good to see that we're seeing UTSA kind of step up and put a fight to this pretty good Texas team.
Guys, can you still hear me?
This is perfect.
Yes,
no more echo.
Okay, great. If you guys at home, Mitch, I know you're pretty good on letting us know. Milltown, let us know if you're getting any more of that echo, because I think with the headphones that I might have canceled that out. Let us know if not, though. I can go to the iMac in the studio office and make it work better.
So Wright stated against Vandy today, which is nice to see. Nice to see that they can't get that off their back. I'm hoping that UTSA pulls this off, though. I think that would be awesome for just everybody, who doesn't care for Jim Schlossnagel's slimy tactics and slimy personality. So I don't know what you boys think about that.
Not caring for Schlossnagel, that you hit it right on the nose with me, buddy.
It's hard to support Texas in the year 2025.
Horns down, baby.
All day.
That's 15 yards.
Yeah, well, it's not. Well, they're in the SEC now, so I think that you can do it. Cal Poly in Arizona is just coming up, or just starting. Oh, Smith Bailey on the mound.
West Virginia has won.
Oh, heck yeah! That is not a team that I said it when we recorded our preview. I did not want that team I did not want to face West Virginia as a 2 seed.
I'm not going to lie. Our preview, looking back on it right now, pretty money. We didn't like Vanderbilt a whole lot.
We really did great.
We didn't like Oregon State a whole lot. We did a dang good job.
We did really good.
We did mention that we didn't like Oregon all that much to be a regional host. We thought they were not the best regional host. So yeah, we shout out us.
I think the only one that I feel like I'm perplexed by is UCLA becoming a team of 9 Barry Bonds. I thought UC Irvine was going to put up a better fight when they played.
Shout out to Milltown being our behind-the-scenes producer, by the way.
I also want to shout out North Dakota State for almost beating Creighton today.
So we got Oregon State and USC playing later today, right?
Yep.
And then Irvine, LA playing each other. Do we have anything going on Monday? Like any games or anything? Or are we? Oh, we do.
Tennessee. Southern Miss Miami, it looks like we'll play again tomorrow. Oklahoma, North Carolina tomorrow. That'll be a good one.
That will be a good one. Let's see if my
Murray State, Ole Miss tomorrow. Slightly concerned Murray State does not have a pitcher left, but
yeah, that might be a problem actually.
That's the dilemma that these Wright States and the Murray States of the world face, right? Is even by game 4, you're out of guys.
Yeah, you just don't have the arms in the stable to use.
The only team that has pitching still is UCLA.
Who should I get video of on Fresno/Stockton on Tuesday? Robert Callas, if he's still. I haven't really been I haven't been singularly focusing on single A as much now that my schedule and the daily sheet bounces around. He's really good. Obviously, top 100 prospects, I might say. I might be one of those people. Fresno, Stockton. I don't know if Stockton really has a guy that you need to focus too heavily. They have some pitchers. Yeah, there's some arms, but it's it's just kind of dependent on who's going that day. I've seen Fresno a few times this year. When Kellis isn't in the lineup, it's not an exciting lineup.
It's a huge hit from Little Rock right there. That happened about a minute ago. That's a really fun team, man. Losing record to beating LSU would be
crazy. And they got their first tournament win, this tournament. I believe, was it them or someone else? I remember it was a big deal. So
I just think the fact that they beat DBU. Wow.
Did they play DBU on the Friday or the Saturday? Or
they played them today. They might have.
Okay.
I think they only played them today.
Because I remember DBU and the other team in that regional. I'm blowing a blank. They got really screwed. They were playing them till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So it wasn't fun. But I guess you got to do what you got to do. How far do I think Middle Tennessee? I was muting your thing, Middletown. How far do I think UTSA? I think if you can knock off Texas, I mean, you got a chance to go pretty deep. Do they win a super regional? That's the question. Did they make it to Omaha? I guess that's the question you're asking us. I would hope that they would have a chance to make it pretty deep because I think that's a fun story for everybody involved. Smaller school knocks off the big school in the in-state, which I imagine is what you guys were talking about before I jumped on. And yeah, I don't know.
Guys, we're doing okay.
Yeah, Drew, you're back.
Yeah, sorry. Milltown, what's up? I hope you're enjoying the house tour. This is I just told my wife our internet connection is acting like pureed ass. And I don't mean to swear. I never swear, but that's the best terminology I can use for it today. So Spectrum, if you're hearing this, you're on the list. Anyway.
Soon we're going to get Drew on the deck or on the porch.
I started on the porch for during the stream that shall not be named, Reese, and it was lovely. But my internet, as I alluded to, hot trash. So there you go. Hot garbage. Now I got to try to figure out. Let's see. I guess I could do watch ESPN from their web stream, surely, right?
That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Cool.
I think I'm going to throw that on my phone real quick, because I want to be locked in. Shout out to Squeeze Play is still going on. I think Squeeze Play is one of the greater products this country's ever created.
Agreed. Heartily agreed, in fact.
Or do I want to? Yeah, I'll just go Squeeze Play. Oh, I forgot it to go through. Wrong one. This is great air. So what has your guys' Sundays been like? Outside of jumping on and doing this. This was sort of thrown together too, by the way. I don't know if you guys gave an origin story or anything. All of a sudden, I check our group checks, and you guys we're doing this.
You guys can't hear that through my speaker or through my headphones, can you? Okay, no. Just making sure. God, I've lost all of my confidence in my tech abilities in an hour. So, yes, Reese is correct. This is kind of not a thrown together thing, but certainly just a labor of love. Hey, let's hang out with the folks that are watching. And we can do some chatting about baseball, and that's the goal here. So, fortunate to have some of our staff join us. Fortunate to have some viewers, up to 334 as of our last count. So that's dope. glad to have people with us. If you're watching on Twitter, man, leave us some comments, ask questions, because we are watching the regionals, regional final night. Of course, stuff for the super regionals coming up. We can talk that too. Although I think that might be the topic of conversation tomorrow when we record on deck. The more that I think about it, right?
We'll have the matchups, yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the matchups by the time we record. We tend to record earlier or later in the evening. Let's guess my Twitter password.
Bean Dip 434.
Yeah, secret Bean Dip fan 123.
I knew it.
I actually
The
don't
truth
hate
comes
Bean
out.
Dip. I just don't think that it was a pick I would have made.
Who pulled higher? I don't know.
The polls are wrong.
Oh, tight play in Baton Rouge, guys. Wow. Little Rock
Oh, I think he was
adds
safe.
another run.
Oh, I'm a little bit behind. Or Squeeze plays a little bit behind.
How is it that I'm ahead? Is this what it feels like, Nate? Is this what it feels like to be one of the elite?
I'm about to refresh my page just to see. Oh, they kind of stepped on the bag at the same time. That might be close.
Ooh, that is close.
Oh, that is really close. Shout out the safety bag. Big fan of it. We don't need to see those needless injuries anymore.
Yeah. That's one of those changes that, I think
Does
was
it look
better
a little-
just for itself.
Does it look funny? Yes. Objectively, it looks really funny. But it's unnecessary. People are bigger, stronger, faster than they used to be when baseball was invented. It kind of just makes a lot of sense to just put it there, and I really don't think it. Ooh, Aaron Walton. 2-run RBI. Just gets run scoring in Arizona versus Cal Poly.
Seeing PK Park completely empty is just kind of funny to me. There's just no one there now that Oregon lost.
What are the never mind. I was gonna say, what are the odds, Nate, that if you went right now, you could just get in? Guess who? Big Willie style. All in it.
Will.
What's up, everybody?
Good to see you. Buddy.
Hello. The average height of the stream just got a lot taller.
Just got beefed up, baby.
How's everybody going? That's true.
Doing good, bro. Well, I don't know if Nate spread the word, but after you guys watched that game together the other night, I said to him, I was like, so Will, really tall in person, right? He goes, oh, yeah. And I told him, I was like, the two of us would make a great Secret Service duo, I feel like. So if ever you and I are together with
really tall in person.
Yeah, just really tall in person.
Yeah. It's crazy because I think when we first talked about it on the episode of On Deck I was on, I think that everyone was shocked. I think I just mentioned offhand, yeah, I'm 6'6", and then recently they were like, hold it, wait, what? So,
dude, if I was 6'6", I'd be dropping that everywhere. I'd be like,
now I guess
I'm 6'6", by the way.
The good news is that I can confirm on my, because for those who don't know, I was in Washington this week. This week with Nate watching some Tacoma Rainiers baseball, but both on the flight from Houston to Seattle and back home, I got switched down to an exit row, which was really big. It was huge.
Primo.
Totally changed the flight.
Huge is what I texted Reese right as I was sitting next to you at the Tacoma Rainiers game. I just texted Reese and said, he's huge.
Okay.
I assume you'd say something similar about Drew, but it would be more of a width thing. So we'll have to wait and see.
Safe.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Actually, wait, they didn't. Never mind. Ignore me. I can't see.
Out in the Texas. Yeah.
Adam Keel says too much fun is being had. Adam, that's not true because you're not here with us.
Yeah.
Of course, when I mentioned on the spaces that LSU had a kind of a cakewalk of a regional. Of course, Little Rock is now Little Rock responds by putting up like 4 or 5 unanswered runs.
The
Yeah.
powerhouse
Here's
Little
the
Rock.
Here's the thing, Will. Let me teach you. Don't put opinions out there on Twitter. It's a terrible idea. I'm getting all my Jack Caglione tweets retweeted right now. It's not fun. So yeah. Oh, now I'm gonna get a lot of DMs about asking, should you pick up Jack Cags in your redraft leagues? You should.
Mhm.
Is he gonna strike out 100 times? Probably. Is there a chance that he could be like pretty good, like nice
Yeah.
20 home run bat at this point of the season? Of course.
As good as Cags is, I don't think I think sometimes it goes, not talked about enough, like the gap in pitching between AAA and the majors. Like they're not even playing the same game. Like
No.
it's such a big difference. And I don't know, just watching the way, Marcelo Myers, his at bats in his first few games of his career. Cole Young didn't have a great day today in Seattle, but it's after walking it off yesterday. But yeah, it's going to be a learning curve. If you think he's just going to come set the world on fire, it's not going to happen. But that's nothing to say as far as his long term, what we think he can be.
Right.
Agreed.
And you guys just watched AAA baseball too. You guys were just out there and seeing it in person. And Nate was bouncing between that and Major League Baseball. So Nate will be able to tell you what the difference in the games are. It's a different. It's not a different sport, but it's like they play loosely the same rules. It's just wild. Like I've gone to Vegas a couple of times to go see them, and they it's just wild to see the differences. And people are like, well, he's just going to come up and hit the ground running, right? It's like no one really does that anymore. Like we thought. I mean, Campbell hit the ground running, and then he sort of slid back to what we think that he should have been. And yeah, it's not easy hitting the best pitchers in the world.
And you got like 7 days until the league figures out what your weakness is. And like for Campbell, that's been just fastballs inside, just trying to just pound him in so he can't get his arms extended. And he still hasn't really been able to adjust to it. And it's been a lot of getting jammed and kind of rolling over. So it's until he adjusts. That's what teams can they find your holes quickly, and a lot of guys adjust, but then the good ones certainly do. But they find those holes really quickly when you get called up. But for a week, who knows what will happen with Cags though.
Right. I think it's going to take him about like 2 or 3 games, and pitchers, if he hits one home run in the first series or two, pitchers are just not going to throw him a competitive strike. Like they're just going to
playing?
Like they're playing the Cardinals and the White Sox. So I think they got him. That would be
Miles Michaelis, please. He's going to hit a home run he's going to hit a long home run off Michaelis if he plays him, I think.
Let me look up MLB probable starters.
So this might be old news, but Mississippi State made it official. Brian O'Connor from Virginia is the new head baseball coach at Mississippi State. Big news, guys.
Yeah. That's a really good. I think that's a really good hire for them. And I think as great of a run as O'Connor had at UVA, obviously this year didn't go the way they would have wanted. And I don't know, was that a case where you guys think that maybe just ran its course a little bit with the year that he had, and maybe he's ready for something new. And then I don't know, we'll see where Virginia goes, and see if they, certain hires in the ACC have worked out really quick. Immediately, Link Jarrett stands out. So wonder who they'll go with next, but certainly very good hire.
Curious. I really don't. I'm not sure either. I think that with Virginia being kind of underperforming, I guess their expectations for this year is the kindest way for sure to say it. I think that they're going to need to get somebody who comes in and adapts quickly, for sure. Now, that said, I would like to hope that ACC fans, Virginia fans, can give this person the benefit of a little bit of time to get those feet wet and to adjust. But I've been wrong before. I also think that Lamonis being fired from Mississippi State was terribly. That was such an overreach of a move, in my opinion. Brought you a championship less than 3 years ago. Like give him a little bit more leash, I think. That's just me though.
Yeah, I think that's pretty what I guess in college baseball now, it felt like you never got fired as a manager. Now, if you're an SEC team and you lose you win a championship 3 years later, you can be fired. So I guess it can happen to anybody, right? Guess that just shows you how much the NIL sort of impacted the game and everything like that, and how much the money coming through the sport has made it so it's a very high stakes position. Growing up, like you saw all these 20-year head coaches at pretty prestigious universities and everything like that, and now it's like we have to change our manager every 3-4 years to keep up with the trying to recruit the elite guys, being really good in the portal, being attacking the JUCO scene pretty hard. So it's shown you the landscape in which the game has changed.
Yeah, big time. Teams are not as Texas now is down to 3 out. This is so insane about Texas and potentially having the number 1 and 2 seeds out in the in the regional. I mean, I'll tell you though, UTSA they've had a great year, and like they came up short, and they were the latest victim to the East Carolina plays mediocre to bad baseball for 2/3 of the American Athletic schedule, and then they roll in and do what they do in the conference tournament. But that doesn't take away with how good of a team UTSA is, and they're proving it right now. This is to go to Texas, in-state rival. That's pretty crushing for Texas for sure.
Absolutely. That kid looks miserable. Poor boy. Yeah, shout out Milltown said, hang a banner if you want to hang around is what they're saying now. Hard facts, man.
And you have to turn it quickly. I mean, you saw that early I think there's a lot of surprise that he ended up getting retained. I think a lot of people thought he was going to, it's a little bit of a different situation given he was an assistant, but I think that 1 year, that's a lot of people are ready to move on. At least I don't know how you guys felt. I didn't know if it was right, but I was kind of expecting to see him let go. But obviously didn't happen. They'll give him at least 1 more year, but certainly a lot of pressure going into next year with having to replace and rework that core there.
I think that he has a lot of work to do, but I'm not so worried. I wasn't worried about this year, I guess is what I'd say, Will. But now, like you said, next year it is there's certainly a whole lot more pressure. A lot more pressure. But I mean, this is a team that's historically recruited very well, so we'll see what happens with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. 1 out, top 9th in Austin. That's certainly where the money is at right now, fellas. But Arkansas is kind of pushing it out of competitive status with Creighton. Little Rock threatening to do the same with LSU, just as we all predicted. The 2 UTSA fans. I love it.
What's incredible is that given the fact that Vanderbilt's out, Texas is probably out, and then you go to the 3 seed Arkansas, and obviously Tennessee has work to do tomorrow, but that not that, but that potential super could be something, and probably the worst, the 14, one of the most talented 14 seeds, and having, in order to keep their season alive, given the fact that you got to beat Tennessee 2 series and a span of three weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
That's really tough.
It is tough. Yeah. I don't like that for Tennessee. I mean, it's just not a.
You are the Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking at tomorrow's games, what we're already seeing is it's going to be a very interesting Monday. As much as Nate, you and I were saying earlier, this is the best day of the year for college baseball. There's so much action, kind of all the way through the night. Like, we're still looking at probably several hours worth of games ahead of us. Not that we're necessarily going to be here for all of this, but just at the same time, a lot of stuff going on. And yet, tomorrow could be just as interesting. So fun to say. We are being joined, guys, by Adam Keel. Adam, are you with us, my friend?
I'm here, unfortunately, for you all.
I don't know about that.
What's up, Reese?
Nothing much. So we got taller, and now we got a lawyer on our hands. So
Good.
We're checking all the boxes.
So, guys,
Yeah, exactly.
Mitch on YouTube says, "Who are you boys' favorites to win it all from here on out?" Let's start at the top. Reese B. White, you are the face of baseball media. Who are you projecting to win it all from here out?
I hate that so much.
Quit rubbing
can't
the
tell
face
you.
of baseball media.
I can't deal with this. That's a good question. I wish I did. I hate going first, and anytime we do something,
I'll go first. I'll go first.
okay.
Mitch, I think Tennessee comes back tomorrow. Needs to put the daddy hats on. We need to play serious ball. I did see where Liam Doyle is already beating down the door to Tony V's locker room, wanting him to start. So I'd love to see Liam Doyle on the mound tomorrow for the Vols. I'm still going with my boys, Tennessee. There you go, Reese. I went first.
There's so many. Dude, Tennessee's a good shout.
I picked
hate making
Arkansas at the
predictions.
beginning. Arkansas, I picked to win my bracket, so I'm gonna stick with that. But again, they have a tough test. Definitely a little bit of a lighter regional. But they're my team that I think is going to win it all. I think I had them over Oregon State, so the other one's a little. We'll see what happens.
I think I'm gonna go with LSU. I think I'm gonna go LSU from here on out. I feel like you have a good offense. It's just I feel like it's things are going to start clicking for what was Jared Jones and everything here soon. They've got two of the better pitchers in the country, Anthony Ianson and Kane Anderson. Everything's gonna turn up LSU. They're gonna have fun. Their Raising Cane's NIL sponsorship is gonna go crazy. So yeah.
LSU is a really good shout too, because even in their bullpen with guys like Chase Shores, they've got William Schmidt, who is still insane to be just a freshman. They have such a deep pitching staff that that's a great shout, Reese. Nate, what are you thinking? Who you got?
Florida State looks really good, man. They had a really tough kind of draw too, and I'd be remiss not to shout out Coastal Carolina. I mean, their pitching looked really good this weekend, and the bats are doing enough. I think that they have the pitching. I think they might have more pitching than almost any other team at this point, other than some of those that were previously mentioned. So I'd go one of those two.
Adam, what are you thinking, man?
A lot of the teams that I was like, oh yeah, no, they're the ones that are going to be good. They're the ones I'm going to see in Omaha. Have all lost, so I've had to adjust. I kind of agree with Reese. This doesn't happen often, but Reese, I think you're right. I'm going with LSU here.
Oh, yeah, LSU looks good. We'll transition from one comment to the other. Milltown says, was UTSA on anyone's radar preseason? It's funny you mentioned that, because Prospects Live, we did not. I don't want to speak for you guys. I did not. Didn't predict the Roadrunners to be really anything. But man, what a lovely thing it's been to see them kind of, meet their way to victory thus far.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
We are a strike away, guys.
It's unbelievable. But this is a UTSA team that, I mean, arguably I forget where exactly they finished in the rankings themselves, but the top 25.
No longer a strike away.
Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah.
What were you saying about Max Ballou, Drew?
Yeah, I look. All what I'm saying is that I needed this man to do just that right there to give me 107 off the bat. Max Ballou, just when I thought I was out, he pulls me right back in with the bare necessities level home run from Ballou. I love to see it.
He made some money with that swing.
He sure did. Brandon, horns up? No, always horns down. But yet, Max Ballou, I'll give a shout out to. That was dope. What a shot, too.
Unfortunately for them, they're down to their last outs though, with 3 runs to make up. But that's not a very good pitch.
As a Cardinals fan, I refuse to give up on someone with one out left.
That's a good point. I apologize.
Oh boy, man, it's hard not to count out Texas here, but at the same time, Kimball Schuessler, he's been electric this year. He's been a guy that they can absolutely hang their hats on at times.
What are we doing if they pull off this upset? I feel like we have to do something on this stream. Or not, it's not even an upset. Like we all thought they were toast. We were basically digging their grave.
We were
digging their grave when it happened.
I think if Texas comes back we should do something cool, but I'm not sure what that is. I'm with you though, Reese. What would be cool?
I don't know.
A photo of Drew with the full horns up.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh.
I really don't
He
want
has
that.
to make that his Twitter profile picture too.
I hate this. Let's go. UTSA. All right, that's a swing. That's a swing. No, he went. I'm ready to jump the railing. That was a swing.
Nah.
I have
What? I mean, I'm a
consequences now.
second
That's a
behind. I
swing!
mean, that looks like I thought he held live, but let's see.
Oh, it really goes to show
Yeah,
you how
it's
great
close.
Come
technology is that we're all at different points. You know, we're still,
Yeah.
I saw a bad swing live at a minor league game earlier this year, and it reminded me that they're discussing changing the check swing rule coming up, and it's egregiously bad now.
Yeah,
It's
I was
gonna be
gonna
like
ask, how did it
45
work?
degrees after.
Oh,
Thank
Wow.
God.
There it is. There it is.
Thank
oh
God.
my goodness.
Guys in the chat, let me know how thankful you are. I never have to give a horns up for a Twitter profile picture. Jim Schlossnagel loses, and on Holy Sunday of all the days, the Lord is good. Let's go.
I didn't know I cared about your profile picture as much as I do now.
Me either. Me either.
We should do this again next week.
Oh, wow. We'll do what?
We'll do something, and then there's an upset brewing, and if someone comes back, then Drew has to change his profile picture.
Look, the night is young,
It'll
but
only
at
be
the
Drew.
same time, why only me? The next one, okay. I agreed to it. We need to pass the buck to somebody else here. All right.
Will's got a good profile picture, I'm sure.
Yeah, Will does have Will's profile picture is nice. So let's pick on Will, because Will, where are you in that picture? Because you're wearing like a nice suit and you look like you're in front of a big crowd. Where are you in that picture?
I'm broadcasting a basketball game at my alma mater, Hofstra University. Before I moved down to Texas, I was doing some color for basketball for college games on MSG on
nice.
MSG networks, and so it was a lot of fun. Did that for 3 or 4 years up there, and so I had some good teams. But yeah, that's where that was from one of the end of the season conference games.
Love
Because
that.
where you would, with my height, you would more predict that I'm a basketball guy, which I also do love basketball. But
Did
so
Hofstra
yeah,
ever
that's
ask you
where
to
that's
jump
from.
in? If they were down big, did they ever just say, "Hey,
No.
jump in? We need some rebounds here"?
They have not, thankfully. But you know how in the beginning of the college basketball season, where those mid-major teams will play against like D2, D3 teams,
Mhm.
there will be times where I'll be broadcasting one of those games and I'll be like, wow, I'd be the tallest person on the opposing team that's playing against Hofstra. So as the score is like 100-25 or something like that.
Oh wow.
You would
As a-
dominate at Bushnell.
As a season ticket holder at one of those mid majors,
What mid-major?
We do Drake.
Oh,
do.
that's awesome.
Yeah, big Drake guy. I've watched every game for the last 6 or 7 years, but we get a couple of those D2 teams every year, and my favorite is I can always pick out the kid that was pulled off of an intramural team to go play for the team.
It's one on every team.
Every time, and they hustle real hard.
I do. I mean, Missouri isn't Missouri Valley basketball the best? Not to go off on a major. I won't go on a mid-major basketball tangent, but
Brandon, you're correct. We do not associate with the other Drake. We are Kendrick Lamar podcast here.
We are.
Yeah, it's Missouri Valley is great. I grew up going to Bradley basketball games, and so
yeah,
it's in my blood.
yeah. Drake's a great. Those atmospheres look electric too. Missouri Valley tournament.
Speaking of Missouri Valley, does anyone think that either new Missouri Valley Murray State or old Missouri Valley team Creighton have any chance? Those are the two I wanted to see just cause problems.
Creighton has talent, but Arkansas is beating them like a redheaded stepchild, if I may be Southern.
Have you seen the Ole Miss score?
I haven't.
It's
haven't.
worse. There's a worse beating going on.
Murray
boy.
State
Yeah.
will play tomorrow, though. I mean, there's always a chance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They pitched so well the first 2 games too, compared to like what I was expecting, and they can hit the ball hard. Granted, Ole Miss has the depth left, but I think Murray State has a chance. I really think they do.
This would be 2 out of the last 3 years that they would make Missouri if Murray State pulls it off, because Indiana State a couple years ago caused problems.
That Indiana State team, I think, was probably more. They were more highly regarded than this Murray State team, I'd think, right? Or are you talking about the year that they hosted?
Yeah, well, they were supposed to host the Supers, and the
conflict was it?
There was a conflict because the head of sports, athletic director, didn't expect that they'd be able to do it. Therefore, they didn't get the volunteers to staff it.
Most college sports thing ever.
They got fired for it.
Yeah.
But no, Indiana State is usually one of the better teams in that conference.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, let's do a quick game time. 1 to 10. 1 being not at all saw this coming. 10 being I still can't believe it. Shockometer. UTSA taking the win over Texas. UTSA onto the Supers. Adam, let's start with you. Where are we at on the Shockometer?
I'm pretty shocked because I thought that Texas was gonna go far. I'd give it a 2 out of 10. Shockometer.
Okay. Will, on the Shockometer?
So one is like really one is
so
like really shocked.
I'm pretty sure Adam misheard me because I was going for like a 9-10 being very shocked.
Ooh,
okay.
9.
Okay.
It
okay.
equates to a 9. That's my bad.
I was like,
okay.
someone
I'm
believes
really
in UTSA
shocked too.
I surprise, guys. I'm actually the biggest UTSA believer.
Adam, closet UTSA fan. That's fine. No judgment. Will, I'm sorry, you were saying, buddy.
Yeah, I think if you're asking me, am I surprised that UTSA won this specific game? I guess I'm not that surprised after watching kind of how they played Texas yesterday. But in terms of, did I think that there was much of a chance that Texas was going to get bounced out of their own regional? I really didn't. I mean, if you're asking me to put on the, I think I probably believed in UTSA more than most, but that doesn't mean I'm not shocked by this. So, like a 6.5,
Okay.
I'd say.
Nathan?
10.
I think I'm at 9 or 10 as well.
I liked Kansas State. If anything, I was like, if any team's going to do it, it's going to be Kansas State. And I didn't see it coming at all. I was not familiar with the UTSA game.
I was hoping that Kansas State with their Texas transfer D Kennedy would get it done, but no, unfortunately they didn't get it done. There's
as ripe as the storyline would have been.
That would have been fantastic. So there's some scoring going on. They're reviewing. No, never mind, not reviewing. They're showing off the third baseman bobbling the ball to stop the run.
It took a funny hop. I think that was bouncing foul, maybe.
I think it
was. I don't know why.
And he tried to do a do or die with one out. I don't understand.
It's just leave it.
Oh,
yeah.
He's trying to do too much.
The spin on that ball is clearly going foul. That's a mistakes you can't make against Oregon State.
So is Oregon State the only team that has Big 12 or Pac-12? They just didn't take down the logo. They couldn't get it done.
They're still in the Pac-12.
They're still in the Pac-12.
Who's in the Pac-12 with them?
Well, they're like reforming.
They're
independent, aren't they?
They're independent.
I know they're reforming it.
What's the first number in Pac-12, Reese? 1. That's all that matters. Pac-1.
Hey, don't forget Wazoo. Go
Sorry.
Coug.
Yes. My bad. Sorry. Mitch said it right there. Pac-2. Speaking of said in the chat, Brandon Payne said LSU is threatening, and they sure are. Bases are loaded in Baton Rouge, guys. LSU's down 3-6, a 3-2 count. The drama is high. You can cut the tension with a knife as Frey is up to bat.
I know. It's great that Little Rock's up. Is their pitching going to be able to hold up over the rest of the? It's a lot of outs they still got to get.
Well, they got out of that one.
Oh,
Rivered
yeah. I
out.
guess I'm behind. Well, there we go.
Easy enough.
So the last time we were talking, gentlemen, we said that if an upset is to occur, I'm going to pass the buck, and I think we decided we're going to pass the buck to Will. So if Little Rock is to defeat LSU, what is Will's profile picture on the Twitter machine for 1 week?
Oh no. And they just have to win one game. It's only if they win or if Little Rock wins both. Like, what's the standard here?
Let's defer to the judge. Adam, what's the ruling here?
I think they got to make the supers to get the full profile picture.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm good with that.
So then, we should go to the jury of Nate and Reese and myself to determine what Will have to change his profile picture to, if this does come into fruition, right?
I was just about to say, as the judge, the crime or the punishment does now have to fit the crime. So it's got to be a good change.
Okay.
I'm good with that. I'm really confident in LSU. So
I have a good idea, guys, but I'm going to let Nate and Reese kind of refine it. So because our favorite characteristics of Will's are that he's very tall and very smart, I think he should make his profile picture a very short and not smart thing or person.
I should just shrink him. Just
I
shrink
think I think
Like,
you should
get a
let
full
me
body
go on
picture of him and
Photoshop.
shrink him.
Get a full body of Will and shrink him.
Or
Will,
we
can you send
post-
me a full body picture of yourself? Because I can start on that now.
We can
Oh
post. a
man,
photo
I'd have to
on-
dig.
Oh,
I don't.
Make him a
I
short
don't
king.
take. Yeah, I'd have to
Ow.
dig.
Anyone see that slide from
Yeah.
Oregon State?
Oh my gosh. He went full Superman.
I think he bounced his head too.
Brandon's getting yes. Okay. Yeah. Milltown says we should let the chat submit photoshopped options. Yes.
Love it.
That sounds great. Milltown, tweet us at Prospects Live and be sure to tag me as well at Drew is okay. And we will absolutely look into submitted options for Will's profile picture. Should Little Rock come away with this victory? So
And tomorrow, so they got.
yes, of course, both games they've got to qualify for supers.
I'm making.
I think
Yes,
if Holly wins, Adam lets me be a lawyer for a week.
So I do want
You
to
can come do my job.
I need to point something out, guys. Earlier, I shared this on the Twitter machine. The reaction of Reese Bowie giving up the home run. Reese Bowie has liked this, where I said I'm going to abuse this video. He's like that. So if you're watching Reese Bowie, shout out. Come hang out with us sometime soon on Prospects Live. That's dope. And it's a great video. I mean, it's admittedly and objectively a great reaction video as well.
Oh, there's nothing I hate more than a bunt.
Beamed up or a bunt, Reese?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, it's West Coast baseball though. They love a bunt in West Coast baseball. It's like their favorite thing in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
I love that
Can't do it
USC
much better
does
than that,
the fake inside move after getting bunted on twice to try and see if he's going to show hands early or not. And then Oregon State immediately switches the play.
Nate, glad you're talking. Mitch asks, out of all the college prospects, who do you want at number 4 for the Mariners, buddy?
Out of all the college prospects, I mean, if Arnold's at 3, I would absolutely adore that, just knowing the Mariners pitching development system. But I would really be almost happy with anyone. I'm a big Devin Taylor guy because the Mariners have so much money to work with. I wouldn't be surprised if they go under slot early, and I think you get Devin Taylor for kind of cheap if the Angels don't, of course, draft him. So those are the kind of guys I have my eyes on. Those two right there.
Love it. Will, do you have any kind of like MLB team allegiance by any chance? Like a team you particularly root for?
It's the Red Sox.
Any thoughts on what you'd like to see the Sox do in the draft?
Oh, as far as what they want to do what they do in the draft. I mean, you know, it seems like in recent years that they love their high school shortstop molds. That's where it's often where they go in round 1, or high school infielder in general. That's where they like to go. You know, I'm always intrigued to see what different guys are, what guys are falling and who's going to be there. As far as anybody, I don't know if anybody specific pops to mind I'm thinking it'll be around at 15. I think the Red Sox do have enough. I hope it's not a high school infielder, I will say, because they have plenty of those, like in the lower minors, upper minors, everywhere. But I think that at least I'm intrigued with what they're doing pitching development wise in the minors, because a lot of their recent draft picks, your Brendan Clarks or Peyton Tolles, are doing really, really well early on in their minor league career. So I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by that if they end up going the pitching route. But with all the good stuff of guys they have in the minor leagues, it doesn't seem to translate to the big league team. But
Yeah.
it happens, I guess.
I guess it does. A lot of kind of splits at 15. It kind of is almost dependent on what's left in a sense, right?
Right. Yeah, I would think so too. So I mean, certain guys that fall, if you're willing to pay more money.
Just
Arizona
along those lines. So you're at 15. The Phillies don't pick until 26. So I would nary even a guess at this point who I'd like. Obviously, I'd love to see a college player there, but that's me being just kind of biased towards the college game. Reese, welcome back, buddy. Good to have you back. We'll switch to you, pal. Detroit doesn't pick until 24, so you're kind of in the same boat as me. Anybody that you'd like to see them take, though, just if you have a name to mention?
Whoever the best prep hitter is at that point, that seemed to be doing pretty well with that. I mean, McGonigal, Clark, Rayner,
Sure.
They've been doing pretty well in that demographic. So that's where I'd kind of like them to go. Shoot for a little bit more upside for what is already one of the best minor league systems in all of baseball. And I know to circle back on something we talked about earlier, with Cags getting called up to face the Cardinals on Wednesday, he does face Miles Michaelis. So
he's going deep.
It's gonna be brutal.
That's going to be rough.
Going deep.
That is going to be brutal for sure. Reese, thanks for following up on that. I meant to look that up as well and then just kind of lost focus. It happens when you get 5 of us plus a squeeze play with 4 screens at once. Adam, let's switch to you, man. Going back to early in the draft, the Cardinals are picking at number 5. You've been very vocal and active on the Twitter machine about what you would like and not like to see the Cardinals do. Let's focus on the positives, though. Ideally speaking, what are you hoping to see?
I'm still in on Jamie Arnold. If he's there, I think we're pretty happy. If they decide Cade Anderson is the way that they want to go, again, I won't complain about that. Ethan Holiday, no chance he follows past the Rockies, and that's just so annoying. That storyline is just too powerful for them to pass up. But he would have been. I think he's still everyone's number one option. Eli Willits is kind of my dark horse. If he makes it there, I'd be pretty happy. I can't complain sitting at 5. I think that their tier is in the 3-4 range. So that means the Cardinals get their pick at the second tier. And that's a great spot to be for their last top 10 pick in the next decade.
It's true. Well said.
They weren't expecting Weatherholt to be there last year. So I guess it doesn't really, doesn't.
What's weird is me and a good friend, Kareem, both said that I thought JJ would kind of make it there just by, how the feeling of the draft was going. I don't think that Holiday doesn't have that kind of drop in him. I don't think that would truly be shocking to me.
It feels like Holiday's floor and ceiling is the same exact team.
Yeah, very much could be. I do have 2 comments. One, for those that are listening, you get a little bit of free info. If you want to hear my live reaction to finding out I will not get to see Cags in AAA Des Moines, listen to the next episode of Amateur Hour. It's going to come out probably Tuesday. But the other thing, Drew, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Who would you pick to trade for Paul Skeens if you were the Chicago White Sox?
Oh my gosh. First of all, love it. If I were the White Sox, I know that the article was all, I don't know that anybody got it, but it was a tongue-in-cheek thing, just making fun of all these posts and articles about trading Paul Skeens. That's what the goal of this was. Hopefully people got it. I do think the White Sox, if they offered, I don't know. I really don't know. Why would they take the risk in trading for all the young prospects the White Sox offered in that kind of mock deal that I made when they've already got Skeens? It's why trade what you've already got at home, what you hope that these flowers could grow into a beautiful plant if you have a beautiful plant at home already. Why trade that for seeds? I don't get it. So I don't know. I hope that answered your question, Adam. I'm sorry.
Not at all, but that's okay. I appreciated your article all the same.
Well, I appreciate your tweet
right now.
Yeah, Arizona really limped down the stretch too, and they, it's funny. I actually saw them. I saw them play on a Thursday night in the first game of their last series in the regular season at UH, and they got waxed. I think it was either a run rule or they won by 9, or Houston won by 9. And I was like, wow, like this is the team that the previous week they had just lost to the series to Utah, a bad Utah team at home. And they went into that, they played really poorly in that first game. And let's just say I had my eye on the huddle post game in the outfield after Arizona. Chip Hale must have talked for like 15 minutes. He must have talked for like 15 minutes after that game, and you know what? Since then, they came back. They blew out Houston. They blew out UH twice to end the end the regular season. Rode it right into the Big 12 tournament, and they haven't looked back. So they might be this year's example of a team that is playing the perfect baseball at the right time and could potentially make a run to Omaha.
To go back to your earlier statement, Nate, you were talking about Devin Taylor. I'm interested to hear. I got to see Indiana live. What are your thoughts on Corbin Dickerson, if you have him at all?
Yeah, so I actually had this discussion with Owen Hurd, and he was telling me that he preferred Dickerson to Taylor. So then that led me to do my own kind of like, wait, you like him that much kind of deal? And I came away pleasantly surprised. I think I still prefer Taylor, but I think Dickerson is I don't think he's necessarily super underrated, but maybe slightly underrated and might go higher depending on if you like him or not. I'm not so sure.
I don't know if I agree Corbin over Devin. I think I agree with you. I kind of see them both I think Devin Taylor's going to he's going to go in the teens, I think.
Yeah.
Probably like him in the 20s more. I think Corbin Dickerson's going to find himself a home in the 20s.
And he might end up being the better player, man. I mean,
I watched 2 games, and Devin Taylor's defense isn't bad. Corbin Dickerson's defense is just good. I didn't leave impressed with Devin Taylor, but I saw how it could be good. Corbin Dickerson impressed me.
I think Taylor's more streaky, and I think Dickerson's like that steady Eddie kind of guy. So I suppose it's maybe what kind of guy you prefer. I think if you watch Taylor on the right weekend, you leave like that's my top 10 guy. Like that's the guy I want my team to draft.
I buy that.
But then I think if you watch a bad weekend, you're like because I see him in mocks in like the second round sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know about that. But I suppose if you watched him on a bad weekend, like yeah, sure, I could see why Dickerson you might prefer.
I can see a scenario where he drops into those comp picks.
Yeah.
And someone becomes extremely happy about it.
Yeah, it seems like Ryan Waldschmidt almost last year, where it's
Yeah,
like, oh, this guy's going to the comp picks, and it's like they came away with a steal. Devin Taylor, dude, would you really be surprised if he went 2? Like the rumblings that I've heard is that the Angels want to go underslot, and not only underslot, but like badly underslot. Like, so who knows what that means for them?
They can only go so far underslot, but I would hate that so much for Angel fans.
I would hate that for Devin Taylor.
Wow, that's also fair.
I would like he's the guy to get rushed. He's not the guy to fast track, not at all.
No,
I would like it for Christian Moore, and I'd like it for Smata. Otherwise, I'm good without
it. Drew, can I pose you a question here?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to stop looking at this tweet that's pissing me off. So yeah, what's up?
Liam Doyle pitching in September for an MLB team out of the bullpen. Garrett Crochet, Chris Sale style.
Give me 1 second, my friend. I've got to read you something. Give me just a second. It's going to take me a minute, but just hang tight.
Okay. I've just been thinking a lot. The lefty mold has worked. Lefty reliever mold works very often on fast track pitchers out of the bullpen and then transitioning them back to a starter.
So, Will, excuse me, Nate, I'm going to direct you to a post on Prospects Live titled 2025 Staff Bold Predictions, where Drew Wheeler wrote, Liam Doyle debuts in 2025. And I wrote later, therein lies the bold. Let me see. Okay. Doyle's got a plus heater. He's hucking that thing about 75% of the time, and the early results have diminished through his starts, leading many to speculate the lefty will resonate with pro clubs as a late innings bully. Therein lies the bold prediction. Doyle will go the way of Chris Sale, Brandon Finnegan, and fellow Vol Garrett Crochet and debut into the bullpen mere months after being drafted in the first round of the 2025 Major League Baseball draft, before eventually becoming a Major League starter like the others. So I am right in tune with you there.
Brother, are we
Milltown,
right
look
now?
at Milltown. Nate needs to keep up on the reading. Thank you, Milltown. Word. Also, I didn't miss you saying that the flower reference was deep, buddy. Thank you for that. I wasn't going to interrupt these guys having an actual conversation, though.
All right, that's enough tooting Drew's horn. The head's getting a little bigger.
Cute.
Southern Miss finishing off a big win. I mean, I forget who it was that Nate. I think it was you that mentioned the big surprise was Southern Miss learning how to play baseball.
Yeah.
After learning how to play baseball again after what was the Columbia score, like 11-4 or
It was a horrible 2 days of
oh
baseball.
my god,
The wins I didn't like a single thing going on.
yeah, I know. I mean that atmosphere is one of the best though. I think it's an underrated atmosphere in Hattiesburg, and I love those. I love the regionals that get played there, and they're always.
Wow. I'm so sorry, guys. Finish what you were saying, but just saw some other cool news.
No, go ahead and take the cool news.
Dude,
I'm interested.
So Mississippi State baseball hires Wake Forest pitching coach Corey Muscara as their pitching coach. So they have now that is not good. That is not good. Oh
How
my
much
God.
money did they shell out for that?
Today. Just in today.
Wow.
Imagine with O'Connor and now Muscara. Woo.
They're getting serious about keeping up.
That
don't
they
like
must have given
that.
so much money.
I don't like this. I feel insecure.
Wow.
As someone who drafted in a league where you're allowed to draft those that have been picked but didn't sign, Chris Lavonis going, oh, he's going to Wake Forest. I'll fix him up and I'll have a great pitching prospect. That's just brutal.
I think that theoretically, we'll still see the pitching development.
They don't
be in a
lose
good
all the
place.
knowledge.
Right. But, obviously, Muscara being kind of the director of their pitching, obviously. Boy, that's such a good get for Mississippi State. I really hate that. Really hate that. If you hate that, drop a line in the chat at home, guys.
For those that don't
Wow.
hate the SEC as much as I do, what are you guys' thoughts about the performance of after hearing how great they are every year and so much better, but underperforming?
Man, like I as someone who also does not particularly like the SEC, I'm definitely happy about it. However, I do think that I don't like to draw a ton of conclusions based on based on conferences and
It's
regional play.
It's a cheap shot.
It's like the sample's so small. And as much as I would love to say like, oh, that just means more, like all that stuff, like, I don't know. It depends on the team and the particular regionals and how you play on that particular day. And it's been that way so far though. It's been a really disappointing, regional for the SEC. So but yeah, I'm curious what others think, but I think at least for me, that's where I am.
LSU getting a run back.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild pitch.
I think the top end talent just wasn't there this year, and that might have made people think slightly more than the SEC actually was. Like, I don't know. I just keep going back to like, was Vanderbilt really that good? Were they really the number one team in the country? Like, were they really like, I don't know. I think I prefer a bunch of different teams to them. And then people will see like the number 1 and 2 teams in the country, or I see, stuff like that. And I think it overinflated the SEC stock or whatnot. But to their credit, as neither an SEC fan nor hater, I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I will give them, they play some really close games. I feel like throughout, like a lot of the games I've watched SC play are like some of the most exciting games, and they just have happened to lose a lot of them so far. And I understand like ACC over SEC stuff like that. SEC is still king. Like at the end of the day,
I mean, we just watched an SEC team by arguably the best pitching coach because they can.
And that's where the biggest difference lies. Once
I will always be
It's
king.
money.
and where the money always, if there's significant investment that's consistent, that
There are a
that
few
starts to
programs.
make
Few programs can make Gavin Turley with 50 career home runs. There are a few programs that can make baseball into a money making venture, and the SEC are ones that can continue to do that.
Mhm.
Do you know why
Oregon.
that is?
Because it just means more.
Thank you,
Just
Reese.
More.
It just means more, baby. It just means more.
Shout out to the It Just Means Less podcast guys. Those are some of my favorite podcasting groups out there.
I need to say this too, and not that any of you are, and hopefully nobody watching gets this impression. I'm a Tennessee fan first and foremost. I will cheer for SEC beyond them, but I'm never going to be like SEC elite. All the rest are just pawns and scrubs and dirt. Like no, ACC has amazing baseball. Like Big Ten has good baseball. We talked to guys. What was it the other day? We talked about. I don't remember. Anyway. Good baseball is good baseball, but to say that one is better than the other, it feels really superficial, and it feels like you can move the goalposts however you want in order to, anybody that's going to make the statement that one is definitively better than the other, or any of the little brother big brother nonsense, you have an agenda that you're trying to meet. So from an objective point, I don't know. I mean, how do you define which is better? And then at that point, it just gets to be so, asinine of a thing to do that why even bother?
But the SEC should leave the NCAA.
That's very interesting. I'm still not really sure how I feel about that.
Bring promotion relegation to college sports.
Bushnell D1.
I would love that so much.
If you just keep winning, there you go. And pretty soon you'll be in the Big Ten and the SEC, and then you just keep moving up.
Little team from Oregon, man. They can play.
Getting Jared Jones to strike out.
Brandon says, do you guys think that MLB draft scouts can separate that sentiment of SEC versus the world? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to think. Reese, what do you think?
I think that scouts know that like the SEC has the most collection of players. It was even before you could start paying guys, and what you hear some of these guys are making an NIL, right? Like, the game has flown that way, and the game has moved southeast. So I think that the scouts are able to separate the sentiment of it. But I think that they obviously want to go there because if you go to an SEC game, you're going to get a chance to get to see some 2025 guys, some 2026 guys, and maybe some good 2027 guys. Where if you show up at I'm trying to think of a conference. I don't want any conferences to think I hate them because I love all of them except for the Big Ten that's not
MVC.
except for the Big Ten that's not Michigan. I hate all the other Big Ten teams. I think they're all
Hey.
Let's say the Missouri Valley, right? Like you might get a guy or two, on each team. So I think that the scouts, that's the way they differentiate it.
Yeah, I think I think they can separate that sentiment, but there's no doubt that that there's more, that there's more talent, per team in the SEC than other games. But I think that it becomes easier to separate that sentiment because for the vast majority of these guys, there are other places where these scouts have seen them. They've seen these guys all the way up through high school. They've seen them, they've seen them at East Coast Pro. They've seen them at, they've seen them, of course, play in college and summer ball and Team USA. And there's so many different opportunities for those guys and prospects from the SEC and the ACC and wherever to all kind of play as one and play against each other, that I think that for the most part scouts don't get caught up a ton in the SEC branding and all of that. So
really, really, really quickly, well, I don't mean to cut you off, but we did just have 2 more stamp tickets to Supers. Auburn going to Supers, Arkansas going to supers. We now know that we are going to have Auburn versus Coastal Carolina as one of our super matchups. That is a supremely interesting matchup. Excited to see what comes of that for sure. Will, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but wanted to jump that out there.
All good.
I do agree with your sentiment that for MLB scouts, I think that they're so used to seeing it's almost surgical in a way. These guys are more than a uniform they're wearing. It's more nuts and bolts than he's good because he plays at Tennessee. He's good because he has the skills to be there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. And there are very few prospects that really just certainly that's a problem for some of the more mid-major guys if they're not playing on the Cape or if they were not invited to Team USA. Is sometimes there's more mid-major guys that I think should be invited to Team USA that ultimately end up actually going and playing in front of all those scouts. But they have such a good idea of those guys for multiple years that I think that the whole set that they can really break down the players and their tools specifically and what they think. And there's a lot of opportunities for them to play against each other and not just, and it goes beyond just a February to June season.
Well said.
Although I am kind of getting a little nervous. I really don't want to sweat out this LSU game tomorrow. Like I'm confident in them winning, but I just prefer not to sweat it out.
On that note, let's check the Twitter machine and see if I've gotten any submissions yet. None yet. So the stress continues for Will.
Yeah.
We are not quite sure what his profile picture will be if we get a double up Little Rock victory. We'll see what happens.
I just want to be clear. I have an idea and I will be submitting one.
Excellent. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see that.
Goodness.
Let's see.
I'm making one right now. So
Are you, Nate? I love this.
I follow Will on Instagram.
Oh,
no. That's a great idea. Great idea.
Follow me. That is a great way to go.
Use his social media against him. Wonderful.
Yeah. I have so many, all of my 4 posts on Instagram.
That's 4 options.
Brandon says, Will's profile picture is turning into the Back to the Future family picture. Yes. It's going to be that. It's going to be interesting to see what comes of that. So, yeah, Oregon State running away from USC, boys. Corvallis looks like it might be in for some Monday night action.
I think it begs the question that I'll pose is, if Oregon State were to hold on in this one in this game, what is the availability of Caden Ioki tomorrow in a potential game 7? I mean, he absolutely dominated a TCU lineup that I think that a lot of people were high on, and some people thought there's a lot of people picked as a dark horse to come out of that regional and maybe make to Omaha, and USC and Ioki in particular dominated. So I wonder, is he 2 days rest? Is he available to start and try and get 4 or 5 innings tomorrow? Is maybe a first out type of deal? I don't know. I think when you're playing a team like Oregon State, you got to try and set the tone early. I think there's a good chance Ioki starts.
I'm going to put it at let's go with this. Let's go with this, Will. I'm going to put it at 40% likelihood that Caden Ioki starts for the Trojans on Monday night. Nate, what do you think? Over or under 40% likelihood for Aoki on 2 days rest?
Over, be a dog.
Over, be a dog. Reese, what's the thoughts? Aoki, over under 40% tomorrow.
I'm gonna go under. I just want to switch it up.
Judge Adam, rule in.
I can't agree with Reese on multiple things in one night.
Or can you?
That's fine.
Is this
I'm going over
myself half the time.
I'm going over. I think that these people are too competitive to not push their limits, and that's too important of a game.
Vilheim, you are the one who inspired it, but we will ask you as well. Over under 40%, we get to see Caden Aoki take the mound tomorrow.
I'm gonna go over just because because he did throw a lot of pitches. I think he was around. I think he was
Around
up over
100.
100.
Yeah.
It was right around there. So I do think, and as well as he's a guy who really he doesn't miss a ton of bats, but he throws a lot of strikes and fills up the zone. So I think I almost feel a little bit more comfortable in a game like that because his game is not so centered around trying to generate whiffs. So I think I think over. I'm pretty confident that I think Aoki starts this tomorrow because the problem is you could say like, oh, we can use Aoki to close or we can use Aoki as first out, but hey, if you're starting your your number 4 starter or your midweek guy and Oregon State gets off to a hot start early and you find yourself down 3-0 and Aoki's in the game in the second inning anyway, well, you're on the road. You got to go win it. You got to go win it yourself. And so I think saving that is tough if indeed he's available. Maybe I don't know if he doesn't recover well or that's not even possible. But I think if he's good enough to go, I don't think you mess around. I think you try and set the tone early and see how long he can take you.
You love to hear it. Well, that officially puts us guys at 2-4 and 2 against, or 2 over 2 under, I guess. So we will let you guys ruminate on that. Drop us a comment if you were watching, guys. If you're still with us, drop us a comment. Let us know, what do you think, Caden Aoki? If Oregon State holds on here, are we going to see Aoki pitch tomorrow on Monday night in a decisive game, in a win or go home situation for USC? I won't chime in because again, it feels kind of bad to break that tie, but I will say. I will give myself a pat on the back. I did point out Aoki on Twitter as being one of my guys to watch from the regional, and I'm trying to find that post now. I've had a lot of those that I've been very proud of, but Aoki was one I was particularly pleased with.
You guys just see this catch in the UC Irvine UCLA game?
Crazy.
He's like falling, he's like tripping and falling on the warning track, and while going down to the ground, the ball magically lands in his glove.
Wow.
It's better to be lucky than good.
Come on, Irvine. Nate, was it you who said that you were expecting this regional to be a lot better than it's ended up being so far?
Yeah, it's been horrible.
Yeah.
I just don't think UCLA's that good, and they're like putting up 20 runs a game though. So
and they're gonna.
I don't know anything.
They just
and
joined
yet they'll
the
probably
Big
host
Ten.
the Super.
They joined the Big Ten and immediately started playing like a Big Ten baseball team, and it's been disappointing.
And now they might end up hosting a Super if they can win this. So I mean, with that even on their mind coming in, that they're a real beneficiary of the Texas thing. But with UTSA, you certainly can't count them out either.
Mm-mm. Cannot count them out for sure. Well said.
Not
oh no,
guy,
Nate! I just saw
it. But I posted something.
You posted something on the Twitter machine?
Yes.
Well, I'll just have to go take a look.
You had to do the judge too. You had to do judge as well.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's good.
It's gonna be miserable because I'm gonna have to because if it happens, then I have to have that as my profile picture the whole week when the Red Sox are heading to the Bronx next weekend and are definitely gonna get swept.
I think the height difference is too big for a team. It's not even gonna fit in the profile picture.
We can figure that out though.
We'll figure that out.
Come on, Tigers! All right, Josh Pearson.
Tigers, he says.
Josh Pearson can get us going, maybe.
Now that it's set in, Will, I feel like you are. I feel like you're much more serious now that this is set in.
Yeah, games are done. I'm done playing around now. This is it's time to lock in.
So for those of you at home who are wondering what we're talking about, this could potentially be Will's profile picture. As you see, Nate's wonderful job. This is Will, and Will, as we know, 6'6" tall. next to the masterful frame of Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge looks at this man and says, "You are the leader of this basketball team? Get the fat, bald guy over here. He at least is taller than you." So, yeah, we could be seeing some dangerous things there.
Elite editing. Yeah, that was one of my better edits ever.
And what an edit it was.
Oh,
What an edit it was.
I like it when we get Will sort of like all like riled up and everything like that. It's like when we did the fruit draft and someone decided.
Do I
to
get
draft
riled up that
Mullins.
easily?
No, you don't. You're very like calm, collected, but every once in a while it seems like it comes out like the fruit draft.
We
And
just
then
push
throw
Will's
it.
buttons like consistently, Reese. It's becoming like a thing.
Yeah, the fruit draft was certainly interesting. I mean, the dip draft. Wait, 'cause, let me look back at like who was the one that had like the buffalo chicken dip? I think it was you, Drew. Did you have it? You won it by a mile.
Thank you. It was Daddy Drew's.
We
to
were never
win,
going to win that.
and
yeah.
he did. So, and he did.
Yeah. Once you start throwing buffalo chicken in the mix, like you got
Thank
my
you, sir.
vote.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. 72 votes. I'll take 65% of 72 votes every day. So I feel very satisfied with those results.
Mhm.
Very satisfied with those results.
If I could pose something from one of the other games going on, that Louisville's got a comfortable lead against Wright State right now, and they look like they're going to be heading to a super. I want to shout out Matt Klein, because Matt Klein was hurt and he was thought to be probably out for the season, and the dude has come back and had a monster regional. And I can say, as I worked with Matt a lot, last year, because I was an assistant coach on the Cape with the two Kettleers last year. Matt Klein was our catcher most of the summer, and man, he is every bit as advertised. He is an A+ leader. Every time that he came in the dugout, he just lives and breathes. He's a baseball rat. And when he would come into the dugout, and it would always be talking about pitch sequencing, like, here's what I'm thinking for, and it's summer ball. No one does that in summer ball. But Matt Klein is the one who is, and he was tough as nails. And a player too. And I love his bat, and I love his offensive profile, because he's a guy who he's concerned about putting the ball in play, and he does have power, but he's not a guy who's going to strike out a bunch. And he's a guy with a 2-strike approach. He'll cut down he'll cut his stride totally. And just really work to put the ball in play. He's a guy who's, I think, who can hit lefties better than a lot of left-handed catchers, left-handed hitting catchers, I should say. And so I'm really high on Klein as a prospect, and he's a great leader in person as well, and could not be more happy to see him shining in the Nashville Regional the way he has, and given the adversity he's had at the end of the season.
Absolutely, man. Love that. I love to hear that he's grinding it out, even on the Cape, like you said, even in summer ball. Doing it right.
Nice.
That's the difference, though. That's the difference.
Squeeze Play hasn't shown a second of that Louisville Wright State game
Yeah.
at all.
They haven't.
They
were like this game. There's no drama in it whatsoever. We're gonna show all these other ones.
They didn't even show like the Cal Poly,
The walk-off.
Valley game, barely at all.
Yeah, and that was a great game. I was hoping.
Mid-major.
I know.
SEC sells.
One of the few complaints, though, because the Squeeze Play has been a game changer, and I'm not usually. This is probably an unpopular take. I'm not a big fan. Like, I love the NFL. I'm not a big red zone fan. I think it's too overstimulating, and I think that. And so I like to just focus on one game at a time. Or, I mean, I have 2 TVs, so I can put one game on and one game on the other one. But once you start red zone, it gets too overstimulating. But I think for this, with the amount of games that there is, I think that it's been a total home run. This is awesome. It's totally changed regionals.
Nate,
I don't know how many people know this, but Drew and I once hosted a show for Bally. It was our first ever event for them, and we did a
Yes.
4-hour version of it, a minor league baseball playoff version of it. So I have a lot of respect for
Yes.
Runes and Hanson and everything like that.
Yeah.
Berkey, give them credit, man, because
Give-
it is
give
such
all
a
these
headache
guys-
to focus on all the, and Reese, you know it, to focus on all the games, and then at the same time your producer is telling you, hey, we're jumping to this in 30 seconds, and trying to continue the conversation and listen to the person actively talking as well as it's so much going on.
Mhm.
Credit to them.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to do, and they've kind of kept the same energy all day long.
Absolutely.
They've done a great job as really everyone involved, and it's not easy. And I do like the fact that the commercials are all the commercials are all cut, and as soon as like it's about to go to a commercial break, that one's off and another one's on. Like I think that part of it's been really really good too and well put together.
Absolutely, it has. Nate, you looked like you had a rebuttal to Will saying that he's not a fan of red zone and of squeeze play. I'm gonna let you have your time here.
I like
sir.
squeeze play, not red zone.
Red zone's the greatest thing invented since of hint of lime tortilla chips, in my opinion. Those are top two for me. I
Are you
could
afraid
not-
of like? Are you afraid of like flavor? Like when you eat like
Hey
beef
Reese,
dip?
I'm talking right now. Hey. I don't know, I suppose. Hold on, my point. I'm all proud. Red zone's just the greatest thing ever. I throw red zone on the TV and then I watch my Seahawks on a laptop, and then on my phone I'm watching
Well,
fantasy
that's why you
football.
like red zone so much. It's because bad Seahawks football is not good to watch.
I'm gonna leave. I think I'm done with this. I don't know.
Wait, Nate, hold on. You as a Seahawks fan, like you don't want to dial into that one specific game on the TV while they're playing. You're just cool having it on the laptop.
I'm just a fan of the game, brother. I just want to watch some dudes play some ball. I don't know. Like, I'm here for touchdowns, not fourth down
It's a
punts.
fantasy.
You know what I'm saying? And I am the biggest fan. I play way more fantasy football than I do fantasy baseball, with all due respect.
As an Iowa football fan, I am offended that you don't want to watch punting.
Oh yeah, big punt guy.
Yeah,
Big
Hey,
punt
man.
guy.
that's all Rutgers football used to do, was just they would have the best punters in the country and they would just roll
Punting
out
is
there.
winning.
That's what I love punting. I love field position battles.
As a guy who went to every Oregon football game this year,
I
I've
didn't punt very
been
much.
treated to not a whole lot of punt game action.
Do
So
they
yeah,
even have a punter?
that's my take. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. So what were you saying about me, Reese?
Yeah, you were talking
Let's continue
about
this fight now.
hint of lime chips being your favorite.
I just think that was a great invention.
Not his favorite chip. One of the greatest inventions of all time.
Yeah,
I guess-
that's a good
I-
point. You put that on a pedestal.
Yeah,
I guess
I
I
don't
gotta
know.
own it.
Seahawks football, hint of lime chips, and red zone.
I'm the
are
most
Nate's
boring
top
guy
three.
ever. All right.
I guess we're having a chip draft tomorrow. This way I can wipe the
Nate,
floor.
Nate is a forced 1-1 hint of lime chips. That's the forced 1-1.
Aw.
Lays.
It's gonna be like taking Henry Davis first overall.
Oh damn!
God.
I was at least gonna give Nolan Chanuel, but okay.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, Nate. I don't mean to make fun of your eating habits.
No, it's so funny. I love it.
Brandon said, if fat is flavor, then I'm freaking delicious. It's funny that you can read my mind like that, Brandon. I don't know how you manage that. I don't know how you manage that.
Brandon did ask a good question there. I can't read very well, but it's any teams that didn't make the tourney that you expect to make it next year. I don't know if we answered that one.
We didn't.
good question.
UConn is my answer to that for sure, though.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I think
UConn's the
UConn.
team. I was going to say Virginia, but if Virginia's losing their coach, who knows?
A&M's good enough.
A&M is a good answer. I expect Virginia will hire a credible coach without much. There are going to be people lined up for that job.
Yeah. It's a tough question. I think I feel like people will be that Virginia will bring in a pretty good hire. There's no way with the resources that A&M has that I think they can miss the tournament again. I'd be surprised. I think they got to make it back, and if they don't, there's gonna be some issues. I mean, there's gonna be a new coach there. Is what's gonna happen.
May I propose something to you all? Just this, and this is deep from Drew brain, so y'all may have to be like, Drew, stop. Have any of you aware of whenever Robert Trujillo joined Metallica as their bassist? And this might be a wild story, but we're going to go with it anyway. He originally played bass for Ozzy Osbourne. Around the same time that he joined Metallica, Jason Newsted, who formerly was the bassist of Metallica, joined Ozzy Osbourne to play. So it was almost like they traded bass players. My question is there any kind of thought to Chris Lemonis coaching at Virginia?
Ooh.
Now that I've set this up with this terribly long and boring story, what if? Boston Smith coming to bat in Nashville, by the way.
Oh, they're
So
finally
many
showing
good
the Louisville
coaches
game.
out there.
Drew, I will say you offer an interesting idea. I'm more thrown off by the setup than anything else.
Therein is the nature of my charm, Adam. Thank you.
You've confused the judge.
Therein is the nature of my charm. I do have a question posed from text message, ironically. Greg Hoopcamp, everyone's favorite Canadian, says, can you get the guys to give their thoughts on AJ Gracia's ejection being 2 steps out of the dugout with the home run celebration helmet on? AJ Gracia will now miss the first game of Duke's Super Regional. Will, let's throw it to you, man. What are your thoughts on AJ Gracia having to miss the first game of the Super Regional?
I think just the way that I've seen some umpiring crews act this weekend has been awful. And it drives me insane because I see so many games, and it just seems that college umpires are the only ones that act in this way and have such a certainly I'm not a guy who really enjoys when people are screaming at the opposing dugouts after they hit a home run. Like I don't love that, but these ejections are they're throwing guys out way too easy. And I think the fact that it's such an emotional game, and I love to celebrate as long as it's with your team. I'm cool with pretty much anything celebration wise. And so the Gracia injection was really frustrating to me. And that you're taking one of their best power bats out of the lineup for the first game of their Super, and that's a shame. And I think it's quite frankly it's embarrassing. The umpiring crew in the Tallahassee regional was just an abomination.
They decided, how can we make these games about us?
Unbelievable.
Exactly, Reese. Exactly. They made it about them in the worst possible time that they could have. Nate, we talked on an episode of On Deck about ejections and about kind of the celebrations and whether or not they're excessive. As a former player, just very, very recently, buddy, what's your take on this? I'm curious to get your input here.
Okay. First of all, I think we need to also circle back to the ejection that happened in the Oregon game, because I want to get you guys' takes on that. But first, as a player, I want to be allowed to do anything on the field, correct? Now that I'm a coach, this whole time I've been trying to use coach brain. So, oh no.
Super Zoom again. Oh my gosh.
I'm just going to leave it. As a coach, here's what I would say. The rules are there for a reason. Follow the rules.
Listen to Big Nate, guys. He's really threatening us if we don't.
How do I do this?
Big Nate is scary.
I would literally just say, if you know it's a rule, follow the rules. It's just a dumb, that's on him. He knows the rules. He knows he can't do that. So don't do it, right? That's me being a total ass a-hole hater. But you know the rules. Don't be stupid enough to break the rules even in the heat of the moment.
Nate, that's
Wow.
a very boring, not fun take, but I kind of agree as a professional rule follower. He needs to understand the situation better than that. It's still a dumb rule,
Oh yeah.
but don't get suspended for an important game just because showboating is fun.
It's like horns
Excuse
down.
me.
It's a stupid rule. Everyone knows it, but it's a rule. Like, don't do it.
We still
So,
support horns down.
real
Yes,
quick,
horns-
we did just have a really good suggestion for Brandon. Big Nate as the new Will profile picture.
Big Nate, yes.
I'm not offended by the thought of Big Nate. Not offended.
I think
by
that
thought.
has to be. I think the reality is we have to get a top 3 or 4, and then
Twitter poll.
Twitter poll. Absolutely. Wow, that is a good play for Little Rock there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm waiting on a replay of that. I've still got Squeeze Play showing me names. So
Yes,
I like
we know-
reading, but come on.
That's
Just
just
we know who won.
heads up baseball by the first baseman.
I'm trying to look for a replay too, and I'm just getting that Florida State won the Tallahassee region.
Some of us just are
Which we
watching
know.
on ESPN because might as well.
Not a bad thing.
No, it's probably the best. You never know what Squeeze Play is going to put on.
Should I?
Or the charm of
Is
it.
that an official recommendation to flip to just ESPN now? Or
You
no, what? I'm gonna do that because
I've got the
Almost.
phone and the TV going, so I got 2 games just off of ESPN Plus.
they're showing like Ole Miss, Missouri. Like we don't need, or no, not Missouri.
Old
No
Missouri.
one needs no one
Missouri?
needs to be watching Missouri baseball.
Unless they're playing Texas A&M, of course.
Wow.
But
True.
To go back
underrated
to,
moment. What a
to
moment
go
for
back
me
to that
was.
question earlier about which team will make it next year. A&M was the obvious answer. There's no way that they don't spend enough money to make it happen.
Mhm.
I was going to be a smart A and just list the next SEC team that missed, and it came out to be Texas A&M, and I was like, oh, well, that's actually like the answer.
That works.
You know what team I'm actually going to give Brandon the deepest cut here ever is Nevada. It's actually not that deep. I love Nevada. Their coach is awesome. Everyone raves about him. And they are pretty good. I think they won the regular season Mountain West this year, but they didn't make the tournament. But they lost in the tournament. But really fun things going on down in Nevada, and Bushnell plays them next year. So get ready to learn Bushnell, buddy.
Get ready to learn Bushnell, friends. Love that. That's, I think, one of my favorite all-time joke setups is get ready to learn blank.
Yeah.
Well, the classic NBA one is still the best one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have gotten the ESPN LSU game on yet, but they just showed
I
that
do.
the first baseman has done that exact play earlier this year.
Wow.
Oh.
Great work by the producers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good pull
to
by
dig
them.
for that really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find a
excellent work.
Little Rock clip from earlier in the season.
Quickly,
Shout
yeah.
out, Evan, shout out Spencer. That sounds like a Spencer thing there, Reese, that he could just have
That's-
that on deck
That
at the
does
drop of a
that
hat.
does sound like our producer on Past the Show.
Shout
Why do you think
out
it's called
Spencer.
Little Rock?
Why?
Sorry. Why do you think it's called Little Rock? Just a question posing.
I don't.
Because it's in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think Little Rock, Arkansas got its name, Reese?
I
You
have
think
a
it has a
theory.
rock?
Do you know this answer?
I'm looking it up right now.
I
thought it was a setup for a joke.
No, just curious. Reese, what do you think? Do you think it's because it's named after a rock?
I just pulled it up on the Googles, although the Google AI overview is consistently wrong. It's one of the worst products we have on the face of the planet.
A
Little
prominent
Rock-
rock outcropping?
Yes.
I will say I pulled up. I was looking for the video of the ejection from earlier, and Google's AI is like, "Oh, this ejection probably relates to the 2023 ejection of," and I was like, "Oh no, Google, that is of like an MLB player of Luis something," and I was like, "This is none of these words have been correct.
Bernard de la Harpe, a Frenchman leading an exploration party up the Arkansas River, found Little Rock, and he reportedly called it La Petite Rocher.
Ah,
It's good to know.
That's all I got. Sorry.
Will, I think that you should be cheering for this Petite Rocher, right?
I will not.
Come on. He said it in
Yeah.
French. It's cultural to cheer for them.
That is impressive, but not enough to sway me. I'm not moved.
Okay. All right.
Did anyone
Bottom
see that?
7, 6'4", by the way, for those of you keeping up with the Will profile picture phenomena that is occurring.
Which again goes to tomorrow.
That's true.
When visiting Arkansas, is Little Rock worth visiting? No, is what someone put.
Is that like a Google review?
No.
Greg, where are you to defend your city?
We should
Little
go
Rock. I didn't
compare
realize
tweet.
Little Rock and Fayetteville are so far from each other too.
They are.
They're like 3 hours, three and a half hours away from each other, right? Something like that.
So earlier in the season, Greg messaged me and was like, "Hey, man, you should come and stay with me this weekend. We should go to, Fayetteville hosting Tennessee." I was like, "Heck yeah, we should." Looked it up. It's my wife's birthday, so obviously not going to happen. Need to spend that time with her. But yeah, I was like, "So how far is Fayetteville from you?" And then I looked it up and I was like, "Hello, what happened here?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, terrible
Yeah.
state planning on their part.
It's a bad idea.
Terrible state planning.
I think is Ole Miss gonna set like the record for like longest time like played today, because their first game against Georgia Tech was a marathon, and this game against Murray State won't end either because of how much scoring that there's been in both games.
Greg, I see your text that says this is terrible. Are you talking about the stream in general or what? Downtown Little Rock is dangerous, he said. So I'm assuming what he's getting at is that if you're at the game, maybe try not to be at the game. Go home before dangerous things happen.
We're going to Little Rock, boys.
Because the Little Rockians who are in Baton Rouge might make it a situation.
Prospects Live off-season trip, Little Rock, Arkansas. The gang
Little
goes
Rock,
Little
Arkansas.
The gang goes to Little Rock. There we go.
Yeah.
All this discussion of Prospect Live trips potentially. Little Rock.
Little Rock.
It's ironic because there is quite a bit of baseball history in Little Rock, or in Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. Now that I say that, I need to make sure that I'm not just saying nonsense.
Oh. Did UCLA just get one? No. they didn't.
UCLA just scored a run.
It was nearly a grand slam.
What are you guys
Yeah.
watching? UCLA's pitching on my screen.
Dude.
Are you behind or am I behind? Oh, it says I'm live.
I think you're in the future.
Oh no,
Because-
Reese and I would just watch the same play.
Okay, Greg has
Hold on.
clarified the discussion about Arkansas is terrible. Understood.
I can't say I know that much about Arkansas. I don't know.
I'm telling you, it is late. Greg is probably watching this from his sofa or bed, I hope. But otherwise, I'm sure he would be here to clarify all of the myths about Arkansas. So, unfortunate for us.
I do want you to know, I'm going to figure out how to get control of your profile picture now. And then I'm going to make you into the guy from, what's the movie where it's Jennifer Aniston and they're traveling in an RV, smuggling drugs.
Yeah.
And the goes,
We're the
you guys
Millers."
are getting paid?
We're the Millers.
I'm going to get you into that kid. You guys are getting paid? I
The
have
the
UCLA
eyebrows.
pitching.
Yeah. I get that reference. That was good.
I like that as well. Greg did clarify, by the way, Hot Springs, Arkansas was the original home of spring training. So I knew that I wasn't just making things up.
Oh.
Oh, is that why it's called spring training? I just assumed it was
Exactly.
Like a,
That
Well,
UCLA
it's just
game
because
turned
it's in the spring.
quickly if you're not watching.
Oh, no, there it goes.
well, Nate,
Is UCLA good?
UCLA is not pitching.
That region sucked.
That's
So
Levu's like 5th extra base hit in 3 games.
Wow.
as someone who's got a team that I want a pitcher. At one point, Tyler Bremner was supposed to be the second arm off the board. Where do we think he falls now?
I wouldn't draft him in the first round. I've seen him twice.
Comp
I mean, you
picks.
might have to. This draft's not very
Comp
good.
pick.
Yeah, you might have to. I feel like he's going to be the guy who gets raised up. He's going to be. I'm trying to think.
You know
every
what's
year
about
there's
to
a
happen?
There's a left-handed pitcher who always goes a little bit higher than he should because of the safety.
You know what's about to happen to this poor man? He will be this year's arm sacrifice to the Rocky gods.
I was just thinking that.
I think they're going to draft a better arm than that, hopefully.
Not in the first round, they're not.
Rockies take him at 4.
Oh, it falls to 5 at the expense of Tyler Bremner.
I'd be down with that.
I think that
Charlie
if that
Condon had a home
happened,
run the other day.
I think
Finally.
we'd have to almost see Holiday go 1 to the Nationals for that to happen. But we've seen crazier things happen.
Speaking of the Rockies, watching Carson Palmquist's first few starts in the big leagues, he's so not a starter. There's no way that he can get through a lineup 3 times. No chance.
That makes me
So that
sad.
means
I
he's
thought
the
he could do
perfect
it.
Rockies starter.
But he's the Rockies, so like they're gonna keep running him out there. But he cannot get through a lineup 3 times. It's happened 2 starts in a row where like he's been pretty good the first couple times through because he's funky and he's deceptive. He's just a different look. And then the Rockies are like, well, we have no middle relievers to bring in for you, so time to face the 3rd time through, and he just gives up home runs and really starts to struggle. So yeah, but unfortunately, he's with the Rockies, but he definitely would be so much better in the bullpen, and I'm not confident that the Rockies will get him there anytime soon.
One of my half-baked opinions currently, hot takes, is that if the next Rockies World Series will be won based off of an 8-man rotation, piggybacking across the board.
They're going to be the first team that just goes, you get the order once, you get the order the next time, you get the order the next time. Then you rotate, you just punch in for your shift.
They're going to have 3
every game.
3 startable guys that can go 4 innings, and the rest are just to fill in the next.
Antonio
That guy knows to
Senzatella
close.
in the 4th to the 6th innings will be money.
Exactly. You
For
guys,
the other team.
you guys see the vision. Miles Michaelis is going to be phenomenal for them.
Oh gosh, he would totally go there, wouldn't he?
I mean, he might not have any other choice.
Yeah, I know.
It's
Brody
either
Breck
that or
wants
spend
to
time
the
with the
lineup.
family.
Speaking
Brody
of
Breck
Cardinals,
wants through would
No.
be dope. Yeah,
No,
Brody Breck's
Breck
gonna be
will
fine.
talk.
He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine.
It
The
hurt.
Rockies can develop pitching. Y'all just let it go. They'll be okay.
Chase
I like
Dollander is
Brody
a
Breck
lost
most time.
cause. Just move on, Drew.
Adam, do you want to have this fight right now or no?
No, we'll do it after the Cardinals draft Liam Doyle, and I'm crashing out.
So
Well,
now I know
guys,
what
we hope you've enjoyed this.
I'm-
We hope you've enjoyed the stream. It is time to go. Adam has ruined it for everyone. So
There's a TV show about that.
what really?
Adam ruins everything.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was about you and your terrible takes on Tennessee baseball, but it's good to learn things. Good to learn things. We were talking earlier about learning something new about your friends. We learned that Reese speaks Japanese slightly, I believe.
a little bit. I can count to 10 and say hello.
Do it.
That counts.
Each
Do it.
me, san.
Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. I oversold myself here. Roku. I can count to 6.
wasn't ready for the follow-up of do it.
Do it. You won't work for the first time ever.
I used to be able to count to 10. I think even at 15.
Pretty impressive.
Guys, is Little Rock about to do this?
I think that
my-
They still
my-
have to. They still have to win another game, but the outs are just coming off the board.
Yeah,
Well,
I feel good. going into tomorrow.
What would be worse? changing your profile picture, or according to Greg, Little Rock, Arkansas is very scary. Spending a day in Little Rock, Arkansas.
I'd gladly spend a day in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, so if Little Rock wins, you have to go to Little Rock then. Screw the profile picture.
Oh,
Let's
that-
get real.
Let's get
yeah, me
Matt
in Little
Smada.
Rock.
Let's get Matt Smada and Ross in here, and we'll talk about funding a trip for him out to the Supers for Little Rock.
Yes.
Sounds like Adam can bail you out when you go to downtown Little Rock and do what you need to do.
I don't think Will's the one that's going to be needing to be bailed out. To be fair,
Yeah, if Adam keeps talking about Liam Doyle, it's going to need to be me. The Squeeze Play has a great meme right now of the rounded SpongeBob and buff SpongeBob, regular season Little Rock, postseason Little Rock.
I mean, because they ended up finishing like, what was their regular season record? Like they were under 500, but like 10 under, 8 under.
they were 7 under.
7 under.
Yeah,
Yeah.
26 and 33. I don't know. And they went 500 in the Ohio Valley Conference, the vaunted Ohio Valley Conference.
Mm.
Well, North Dakota State deserves some credit when we're talking about under 500 teams
They
winning.
do.
True.
That boy's nice.
Yeah, that was a great game. It was a great game today against Creighton.
It's the Southern effect. When those farm boys go south and feel some sun, those bats heat up.
It's a good point.
It's the makings of a country song right there.
I got nothing to add.
I can't believe Oklahoma State beat Georgia today. I mean,
Yeah,
can because Oklahoma State has it in them. They're like the most high variance team you'll ever watch. They either swing and miss all the time, their offense, or they, collect for 11 runs. Nolan Schubert can do that. Cullen Brueggemann can do it. And then, and their pitchers either are all just future relievers or they're Sean Youngerman.
And the heater that Richie's been on has been insane too. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been the player of that regional so far. And with how that was such a great game this morning to kick the day off, like with the hostility between both sides. I don't know if you I love the Alford flipping the bat in front of the dugout, and then the next time he hits the home run, he like lays it down gently. Like that's the kind of trolling that I love. Like that.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking. We don't need to scream into people's dugouts. Like just lay the bat down nice and gently after you hit your second rocket in the last 2 at bats. Now we're talking. That's the stuff I like.
Talk about an interesting end of game, the Duke Oklahoma State game. It's another fun way to end your season. I don't know if you guys saw that.
What happened on
There's a safety bag violation, I think is what the eventual ruling was.
It was a runner lane, wasn't it?
Oh, was it runner lane? I know that there was a talk about it being safety bag, but
There's like 3 things the runner did wrong there.
he also turned to go to second and then got tagged out trying to run back to the base.
I think there were 3 things that they could have called him out for, which is just awesome.
Yeah.
I just got the SpongeBob meme.
You're way behind.
That was like 4 minutes ago.
I refreshed like 10 minutes ago, man. I don't know.
What are you watching? Are you watching on like a laptop or a TV or what's going on here?
I'm playing this thing on a monitor.
Are you like illegally streaming Squeeze Play? You don't have to answer that question. I don't want
No,
to.
As the attorney, don't answer that.
I admitted to crimes on one of our last podcasts. Oh,
that's great timing. Anything else you want to
Did you, Big Nate? Tell us more, Big Nate.
Wait, what? I don't remember that.
Has statute of limitations run out here?
I'm trying to figure out what he
2 weeks
admitted
ago.
to too, Reese.
What's the statute of limitations on podcasts, Adam?
It can't be too much longer than a couple weeks.
all right. Then, yeah, I just 1, 2, 3 movies, everything, man. I haven't been to a theater in
Oh,
years.
okay. I do remember him saying that.
I watched the Minecraft movie on my laptop.
Allegedly.
Like before it
Allegedly.
came out, and it was like before they green screen things. So I was watching like Jack Black in front of a green screen without the effects on the back.
Did you throw the popcorn at the right time?
I did not. I did not
Oh,
do the.
then you didn't
watch
watch
it?
it.
I did not do what the kids do nowadays.
In other
Wow.
news,
Apparently-
Aaron Walton just went deep again.
Drew finally got tired of my takes on Tennessee pitchers, and now I can make them without interruption.
Fair.
Drew was very freaked out about me illegally watching movies, allegedly.
Allegedly. If someone were to have done that.
What's your favorite law, Adam?
Good question. It's gonna be a very like niche one.
So many to pick from.
What a question.
As a plaintiff's lawyer now, the one that makes me enough money. Oh God.
This is me and Adam's first conversation.
It is.
So
And
it's-
Nate, I want to be so clear. You look exactly how I thought you looked. The sound of your voice matches your face. I'm so appreciative of that.
I'll take that, man.
It was a compliment. 100% a compliment.
What's your favorite law?
You didn't give an answer.
Yeah, bro.
I'm very interested in this too.
It depends.
Nate is still using LimeWire. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, you don't know what LimeWire is?
Is that an old thing?
Yes. Back when you could kill your parents' computer by infecting it with all viruses that were created by downloading music illegally.
Brother, I grew up with an iPhone. I don't know what to tell you.
That was back in the days where I had to learn how to do an MP3 converter just to get music.
Brandon said I'm leaving. Stash of limitations. Hold on. I'm catching up. Brandon's firing off.
The stash of limitations. I love that. Brandon, great job.
I think any other.
Threatening to add more.
Yes, I'm waving the white flag for tonight.
I see Big Nate is still with us.
The feds haven't come in yet.
He's asking the hard-hitting questions while you're gone.
Really,
took
what he
your
asked? What have I missed now?
Oh no!
He asked a great question, one that deserves a great answer that I'll get back to him on. He wants to know what my favorite law is.
Okay.
I just imagine Nate goes up to any professional. Like he went to job fair. Someone just asks, ask an engineer, "What's your favorite engineering thing?" He goes
What's
into
your
a
favorite
restaurant.
element on the periodic table?
Which engine is your favorite?
I'm to the point.
I feel like to end kind of, and I feel like we're winding the stream down at this point. I feel like I should bookmark this with Jello. This is how we started tonight. This is how we're ending it.
Drew, do you want to be offended real quick by Nate?
Do I want to be offended by Nate?
Do you know what LimeWire is?
Yeah.
Nate did not. His answer was, I grew up with an iPhone.
I have no idea what LimeWire is either.
Oh my God.
Can I
No
tell you
clue.
something?
I haven't
also
felt
don't
this
know what
old in a
LimeWire is.
very long time.
And I'm a little bit
At
older
least
than
one of you has to
Will
know
and
what
Nate.
LimeWire is.
I do, Drew. I told them.
I know
It's
you do, Adam. I know
Best
you
way
do.
to ruin your parents' computer.
I know. Okay,
Never
hold
heard
on.
of this.
All right, so Nate, Will, Reese, Napster.
I've heard of it.
That's from the social network.
Okay, so yes, yeah, Brandon, I'm gonna have a Salka Smata. You need to look. Here you go, Adam. Let's test Adam and see how much of a deviant he was. Adam, are you familiar with FrostWire,
I have heard of it. I never used it.
BearShare,
Nope.
Kazaa?
No, I was a well-behaved child for the large majority of my childhood, and then I became a teenager. So
Or Gus Not Drew. These are
No.
all programs that do the same things. And if you know what Napster does, they do this. Brandon is yeah, Brandon's in the comments. Yeah.
I've heard of Pirate Bay. Yep.
Very file sharing essentially is what it is. So there you go.
Sharing is the nicest way to put it.
Yeah, sharing.
we're really walking a guy who's who's squaring around a
Yep.
sack bunt.
Uh-huh.
Just a total disaster.
I love how Will's saying we now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm an LSU Tiger now.
There's a full
They're
rooting
glad to
interest.
have
Yeah.
you.
You need to get out there tomorrow, Will.
I mean, Baton Rouge is probably what? If drive for me, maybe like 5-6 hours, something like that.
Honestly, it's probably
Doable.
the best for you of all of us. I think it's probably the closest for you.
That's true. I mean, Austin's probably a little closer, but I mean, now that's irrelevant because they're done.
we need boots on the ground.
You know,
Boots
I
on the
was
ground.
I was kind of banking on I'm not gonna lie, before the year, I was kind of banking on a College Station regional or super regional, and I was like, thought it was a shoe-in. Not to be. So that would have been like an hour and a half.
Same, but with Iowa City, man. I knew it was coming.
I'm waiting for the final blow.
So were they, and they never landed it.
Yeah. Ugh.
Walking a guy begging to bunt.
Well, let me ask you a question,
Ridiculous.
buddy.
Yes.
If right now I think our top two are Short Will with Aaron Judge and Big
Yes.
Nate, what would be the worst of the two options?
Big name.
I think Adam, the lawyer representative, should I answer this question?
No. Keep your mouth shut.
On the advice of counsel, I will.
Okay.
I
You
will-
let
I
Twitter
will be
answer
firmly
that question
silent.
for you.
Fair enough.
Best case scenario is you get the
Only
same
beca-
alternative.
Only on the advice of counsel, though. Not my that wasn't me.
This
was
this
with
attorney
counsel.
is also trying to get AI to create a Gumby version of your Twitter profile account. So
Oh, so I shouldn't think that the attorney's on my side necessarily.
not always on your side. No.
You should represent yourself. You should represent yourself. Adam,
Pro se is best.
Have you ever dealt with someone who's represented themselves in law?
Yes.
And how was it? Was it as awesome as I imagined it would be?
So yes and no, because things go so much slower, unfortunately, but they do come up with things where you're like, well, I'll be damned. I didn't think of that either.
I've always thought if I ever had to go to court, I'd represent myself. I'd live stream it too, probably.
I would love that. Your Honor, I'd like to call a witness to the stand, but it is going to be on my phone. Calling Drew Wheeler, and then you just sit your phone with me there. What's up, everybody? It's your friend, your host, your boy, Drew Wheeler. Glad to be in court on behalf of Reese White.
The judge is going to yell at you, and Drew, just drink a tall glass of milk, Your Honor. You'll be fine.
Your Honor, listen, it's clear you have not gotten vitamin D'd up from the feet up in a while. You need to get that fixed. Reese, I imagine you sit me on like an iPad on the stand, and the judge is already just pissed. And then as soon as what's up, everybody? It's your friend, your host, your boy. He's like, you're going straight to jail.
No,
Will
you gotta
Will
wait
is
for StreamYard password to get
I'm
drawn.
straight surrender Cobra. When you walk a guy on 4 pitches who's trying to give himself up, and then you roll the drop third strike when it looks like you might be able to just get out with one. It's not a good night.
Your Honor, one moment. I need to get the StreamYard password from Matt.
Matt is somehow not at his computer.
It's going to take us a minute, Your Honor.
Ross said he
hold on.
still can't access the email. I don't know what's going on with that. Reese, you have my permission to FaceTime me if you ever need me as a character witness when you're representing yourself in a
God.
major criminal trial. You can just FaceTime me. That's fine.
I'm not
Brandon,
really
you
involved in a
are-
major criminal.
Brandon, you're correct.
Okay.
LSU, like this stream, is falling apart.
Yeah. Tough.
Maverick Rizzi warming up, though. He's going to be what turns the tide.
He's coming in. So we doing this for supers too?
Oh, Lord.
I mean, after how great this was, I mean,
I can't see how this went wrong at all.
What have we learned today, guys? Let's really quickly,
Nate
just as we're kind of
Nate
waiting.
admitted
What
to
have
a
we learned?
crime.
Yeah.
Nate
I
admitted
get
to
a
a
phone
crime.
my
call.
lawyer.
If any of you call me late at night, I probably shouldn't pick up.
Will, what have you
Okay.
most learned from this chat, buddy? What have you most learned from the stream tonight?
Oh, what have I most learned? What was the thing that I've like learned what it was today? The thing that steals files off your parents or like corrupts your parents'
How to
computers.
use
What's that called
LimeWire?
again? LimeWire. Yeah,
LimeWire.
that's got to be number one. I had no idea what that was coming into
Very
today.
good.
So
I thought your
that-
answer would be to never volunteer to change your profile picture.
I mean,
he
if I
didn't really-
believe in something enough.
He also technically didn't volunteer. This started with you all saying I had to do a horns up picture, and then I'm passing the buck since I survived that threat.
So
I'll
if
do
I
something
survive
next
this
week.
one, do I get to pass it off to someone else?
Absolutely, you
Absolutely.
do. That's the
Okay.
rules.
So then I'm off the hook
Also-
until we go like next time around.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that.
I do
It's-
think
it's-
that after if you do survive, God willing, you do need to pick. You need to call your shot though,
Oh,
instead
okay.
of just sitting and waiting. We got to call our shot on the upset.
This is the tensest we've been all night.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, every other game is a little further out of the way, so
That's true. I mean, look, I still think LSU is going to win tomorrow, so I'm holding firm.
you
All right.
ooze confidence in this. I just
I
nothing but confident over there.
yeah. And you know what? If that happens and that's what's meant to be, then I guess I gotta we'll have to change it to me next to Aaron Judge on Red Sox Yankees week. So
What a dream it could be. What a
Even
dream
I
it
know.
could be.
I know,
Hmm.
but it's so that's the end of the new week. We'll see if the Red Sox call up Roman Anthony. Hopefully, Roman Anthony's playing at Yankee Stadium, but I kind of doubt it.
Well, that would be something,
Else-
wouldn't it?
They'll save it for a home game.
They're also facing a lot of lefties this week, so they'll probably
Mm.
use that as an excuse, given that they've used every other thing under the sun as an excuse to not call him up. When meanwhile, like Jacob Mountains missed like most of the season for the Astros in AAA. He's been solid for a week and a half, and the Astros are bumping him up to starting center field, and the Reds are like, well, there's still some things we're working on with Roman as he's got as he's just destroying AAA. Like it's such a joke. They're poor. That's why they're very poorly run at the moment. And you don't see this with any of the well functioning organizations.
They're going to come up with like some mystery diseases for him at some point just so that he can't get up. He's got E. coli,
Yeah.
They're going to come up with every excuse not to call him up.
Maybe I'm wrong to think this way, but why would I care about Roman Anthony's service time if I were to call him up and let's say he does reasonably well, and maybe is like a 110 WRC plus, 120 WRC plus guy, even like this year, like let's just say you would extend him, right? Instead of you extend, and if you pay him and you extend him, then why the heck does this matter about us weighing of 6.5 years versus 7 years of service to me, or the extra year of service at the end? Like I don't know. To me, it's such a ridiculous thing that they're debating, given the fact that this was a year that they were supposed to be competing for championships. I get the injuries, but
Let's start
Calling up
Let's
Nate
start a-
Eaton choice.
let's start a dirty rumor and just say that he declined an extension already, and this is their punishment for him.
Really quickly, Nate, I did have a question directed to me through a text message from Greg. He asked, "Are we getting Big Nate the rest of the stream?"
I've just been kind of vibing with it. I don't know.
I like Big Nate.
Vibing or
and I'm not-
stuck?
I also don't want to keep doing this. Try to undo it.
One more time.
Nice.
Oh,
Greg, there you go. You ask and you shall receive. Big Nate has gone.
Adam, if Murray State wins tomorrow, can I get one case pro bono?
Sure, you're gonna have to figure out where I operate out of before.
I'll find you.
And he'll commit a crime.
Ominous.
I
I'll
also
find
only have
you
a
from the
license in
criminal.
one state, so hope your
And the
crime is local.
and the crime you commit is going to be whatever Adam's favorite law is. Once
Ooh.
he tells you.
It's tax fraud.
All right, Nate.
I don't even know where to
Good
start.
luck, Nate.
I think I'm already
Well,
doing that.
How could I get
No,
arrested for
don't-
tax fraud
allegedly.
quickly?
So just for reference at home, if you're still following us, Little Rock
sorry.
has the bases. No, it's cool. Little Rock has the bases loaded on a 3-2 count. Maverick Rizzy, not looking quite as Rizzy as he normally does. Little Rock could put more runs on the board here, Will. I'm going to kick it to you, pal, because I am seeing some beads of sweat upon that brow.
Mm.
And
Well-
that is going to score a run.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of mourned this. I've kind of mourned this one already. We're on to tomorrow. You got to put it. You got to put it behind you.
Job's not
enough.
finished.
Shout out
Job's
to our
not
boy.
finished.
Shout out to our boy Daniel Dickinson. Tonight, probably not a night for a gooey brownie with Oreo and ice cream. Probably more of a let's go home and think about what we've done. But either way, we'll hope for your sake, Will, that we'll hope for your sake that they bring it together. And Brandon points out, there's that we again.
Yeah. I'm
New,
fine. I'm
new
fine doing
LSU
the Wii.
Tiger, Will Thompson.
I'm fine doing the Wii now. When with this much on the line.
It is the stakes have never been higher.
Just get the tying run to the plate in the ninth. That's all you can ask for. Oh, Irvine's got the bases loaded. It's a shame they're down 8-0. So Drew, can we get an official statement about how you're feeling going at official statement about how you're feeling about the game against Wake tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking. I feel good. I mean, at this point, I have to trust the team. And Tennessee, we are an imperfect team. I'd love to see Doyle pitch. I think that instantly puts us over the top, having our best guy on the mound. I think that, I mean, the fact that we've already got Fisher saying, guys, we need you. Be there, be loud, be in. Like, I love that. And Tennessee is called the volunteer state for a reason. I'm gonna tell you guys that, and I hope that you understand where I'm getting at with this. You ask for help, we come out and be there. So I mean, again, if it were at all possible for me to be at Lindsey Nelson tomorrow, I would be there because I want to be there to see this, and I hope that others will follow suit. You live and die with the Big Orange. I'm saying GBO all day. I think that Tennessee is the better team too. As much as earlier I was saying ACC is talented, and they are. They're a wonderful, wonderful conference. Tennessee is a better team than Wake Forest, and I doubt any of you would disagree with that even. So,
Drew, I got a question
I
for
agree.
you about your Tennessee Volunteers. Okay. Last year, y'all had 4 picks in the top 2 rounds.
Yeah.
How many picks do you think go above Blake Burke's pick at 34?
3.
You think 3 this year?
Yeah, 3. Maybe 4. 3 is where I'm feeling, though.
How many do you think in the top 65? It's where Dylan Dreiling went.
4. Top 5.
Which one do you think is the 5th? Pick your favorite, son.
I think that we'll get... There could be 6. I think that I would say, and I'm curious about you guys on this as well, I think that we see Doyle, Fisher, Kylan, first rounders. First through comp is what I'll call it.
Yeah.
I think Curley is probably still in that mix. If you were talking like underslot guys, college guys, I think that Phillips is probably going to be day 1, maybe late day 1. And then I'm still kind of on the, I don't know. Snead has looked rough this last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Russell is not bad though. I don't know. I don't know. I think that 4 feels safe. 5 feels possible. 6 feels unlikely. Any pushback from you fellers? Nate, you look super invested in me recounting Tennessee guys.
I was trying to figure out if I knew half of them. If I'm being honest, I got there.
You got there. You got there.
there.
Wilhelm, thoughts?
I think that sounds about right. I would say. No disagreements on my end.
Reese?
I'm with you.
Thank you. Adam, there you go. There you go.
I was pushing to see if you'd say 5 or 6. That was
I'll
the
go,
debate I
I'll
was
go
looking
under.
for.
I'll go under. I think the last year's team had more talent for sure.
Mhm.
At least offensively.
Little Rock.
Yeah, this thing is. Yeah, this is a wrap. I think all the games are pretty much a wrap at this point,
La Petite
Unless-
Roche.
Unless
unless Irvine
turns,
does
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Well,
But-
on that note, then, we urge all of you at home to continue watching Squeeze Play or ESPN to see Little Rock. Go ahead and cement tomorrow as being the most important day in Will Thompson's life. But until that time, I think we are going to call it a stream. We're going to wrap up as it is reaching the midnight hour here in the Central Time Zone. But before we go, let's tell all the folks at home where you can find us in between our streams, our podcasting, and our writing adventures. Adam, we'll start with you.
Unfortunately, on Twitter, at Torts Illustrated, it's a problem for me. So you can get to me if you want me on there.
The best Twitter handle in the business. Will, where can the folks find you in between your adventures on Prospects Live?
They can find me mostly on Twitter at Will Thompson _33. That's primarily where a lot of my baseball things will be held. Or you could be like Nate and find pictures from my Instagram, which is at Will _T_33. And which, that one will be, if you want to see more what games I'm traveling to, or Rutgers athletics once that gets going up. That's probably where you'll find it.
Very good. Nate, where can people find you between your adventures and the random live stream?
Come find me in Seattle, man. Just pull up.
I did.
I'm somewhere
That was
here.
threatening.
You can find me.
I just pulled up.
You can find Nate on the streets of Seattle. I believe you can also find him at Rasmussen _base. Is that right?
Yeah.
There you go. Reese, the face of baseball media, the free range human, all my favorite nicknames for you, my friend. Tell them where they can find you in between your adventures.
You can find me on Twitter at Reese B. White. You don't need to follow me on Instagram. There's literally nothing there. And yeah, I'm basically writing every day on the daily sheet. Yeah, and then I think that's pretty much it. I was debating on writing about this Alexis Diaz trade. Probably not going to get to that tonight because I have some thoughts on how the Dodgers are what they're going to do with them.
Very good. And if for whatever reason you're interested in following me between the random live stream, between the College Daily Sheet, between Path to the Show, and between the On Deck podcast, you may do so on the Twitter machine at Drew is okay. You may do so on Blue Sky at the same. We do want to encourage you, if you've joined us or if you're watching the stream on demand, please consider a membership to Prospects Live. If you're into the humor and the banter and the fun that we've had here tonight, as low as $5 a month for a membership to Prospects Live gets you all of this and a whole lot more, and primarily a whole lot more baseball insight condensed into a lot of fun. So be sure to stay tuned to Prospects Live on Twitter at Prospects Live. Hopefully, if we see a profile picture change or two in the next couple of weeks, we'll have it shared on the main account as well so that more people can get involved in the fun. But with that being said, I do want to give a special thanks to everybody that's joined us for the stream. So many of you, Milltown, Brandon. We want to shout out to Mitch. Thank you guys so much. Everybody that's joined us. Over 415 people watched this tonight, guys. So you got to love it. That's going to do it for the stream. Enjoy your evening, and we will see you when we see you. Bye-bye.